Mood.tv.
We are live. Welcome to Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up, episode 18, right? 18?
Yeah.
Episode 18. Welcome. That theme song is kind of a theme for the show this week almost. We wrote a bad punk song.
Yeah.
We wrote a bad punk song. Cat's in Zach's seat. The cat is in Zach's seat.
Yeah.
Lucifer commands you to give up your seat to her, apparently.
Yeah.
Shut up, bitch.
Shut up, bitch, kitty. All right, so joining me this week, as per usual, I have Mr. Justin Olimpado.
Hello.
And Mr. Zachary Stormin.
Yeah.
Like it. You always make it, no matter what. You always make it.
That's what my mom said about my big head.
You always make it, no matter what. That's good. Joining us this week, we have a very special guest. We've been on a roll with some guests the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's nice, man.
It's nice to have some fresh blood
I
to
won't
mock.
lie. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
There's some schmegma jammed in my microphone.
Schmegma in your
Oh
microphone.
my god, it's like...
Ooh. Does it look like good schmegma or bad schmegma?
I don't know.
Oh.
I mean,
Can you see it?
Yeah, that's weird. Oh, no, that's ceiling tile.
Oh, you hit the ceiling
I
with
hit the ceiling with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I hit the hole.
At first, I thought it was either dried semen or drugs.
Either
way, I was gonna lick
it. You better. All right, joining us this week, our special guest is Mr. Dominic Trimboli.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Dom is an old friend. Known him for I'm assuming at this point we can say 15 years because that's when Straight and Upright was playing. And you're how old?
30.
So I would say you're a 14, 15-year-old kid. Now, I met you at Toast. The name of the episode this week is Toast. We're going to do a lot of reminiscing and bullshitting.
That's because I got toasted before the episode.
Yeah, no. That's why the episode's not named Dusted. But we
Dusted Hoffman.
Dusted Hoffman. That's the name of an episode at some point.
It's my favorite BMXer.
Dusted Hoffman.
You did a couple loops.
Loop.
Fuck.
This guy's funny.
He is. He's got jokes. He comes with it. But yeah, I met Dominic when he was like 14, 15 years old, and I just knew him as a skateboard kid. And you were saying before you saw a picture of yourself from back in the day, and you had like...
Oh, dude, I was looking at this picture of me. We were visiting my brother had just gotten back from Iraq, and we were visiting him in Savannah.
Joey?
Where he was stationed. Billy.
Billy. Okay.
Yeah. So, we were visiting him coming back, and we were just taking the most ridiculous pictures.
Yeah.
But I saw a picture of me rocking like this fucking dirty ass trucker hat. I had like Shaun White's hair pretty much.
Yep.
I looked like a fucking Bozo the Clown.
Nice.
Rocking a pair of like old ass Bastian Salabanzi Vans.
Were you were a big long sleeve button up flannel guy? I remember, like, when it came to colder times, like you would wear that and like a t-shirt over.
Dude,
it.
I still wear flannels.
Yeah, I know, but you were just like you were the epitome of a Thrasher magazine teenager. Like that in 2003, you were like
was pretty much like
you were skateboard kid.
I was pretty much a CCS model. You remember CCS mags?
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
Like the mail order mags.
Yeah.
That's my shit, dude. That's all I ever like ordered from.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Now we bonded later in life over mutual friendships and stuff. We were friends with the same crowd. I was in Likeness Flow with Chris and Tim and a bunch of other people, and we kind of met at that point again. And then my favorite, my fondest memory is definitely Creed Wars.
Okay.
Creed Wars. If you're not from the Strasbourg regional area, police department. If you're not from the Strasbourg area, though, if you're from the police department, you know about it.
Yeah, probably.
What's up, guys?
Major shout out to SARP.
SARP.
Right.
I've never called them SARP. Now that's all I'm calling
I think they're the only dudes that call themselves SARP.
They call themselves SARP.
Yeah, dude.
All right, so cool. I'm gonna be on the in now when they stop into the bar and ask me about some drunk asshole. But
wait, is that Stroud Area Regional Police?
Yeah, Stroud Area Regional Police. But karaoke night at Jock and Jill's back in the day, when it was being remodeled, when they were turning Grace O'Malley's into just Jock and Jill's, like I think at that point. They had it set up. Yeah, they had it set up in the like kind of the dining area, and Dom and I are there, and I don't know if you did a Creed song first. I think you did a Creed song, and then I was like, all right, I'll do a Creed song, and then I went up and I did, and it was just who could do the worst.
Is that the night? That's the night with you. Rich also did.
Well, Rich was there, and he jumped in. Not the first night, but like second or third time I think that we did Creed Wars. Rich jumped in and did What If. And neither of us had ever done What If.
What If?
Yeah.
Damn,
and it
I
was just like,
about
fuck,
that one.
he crushed it. Because we were doing like Sack of Rice and Arms Wide Open and Higher. And it was basically a 3-song joke, and whoever picked first got to do 2 songs that night. And well, yeah. So that was great. And we were at karaoke a few weeks ago when I ran into you for the first time, I think, in about like 3-4 years. Asked you to come on the show, which you refused to, for 2 whole weeks now. No, you can't. You showed up. I'm happy.
I said yes the first day.
Yeah, you did say yes immediately. But you said you didn't want to start Creed Wars because you didn't want your girlfriend to see that side of you. It was a side that she didn't know. We got to ease her into Creed Wars.
Creed Wars is
a dark part of your life.
I feel like we should bury Creed Wars into the annals of time.
All right, so what's the next wars we're going to go for? We can do some Third Eye Blind Wars or something.
Maybe.
I mean, if you want to talk for hours, then go ahead.
Yeah, we can do some Semi-Charm, some God of Wine. You can switch it up there. It'll be good. It'll be good.
Let me know when you do this.
Yeah.
Because I'm not coming.
All right. We can do AC/DC Wars.
Don't worry, plenty of other people will be coming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Third Eye Blind really makes the people come.
Brown Eye Blind.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to start a cover band called Brown Eye Blind?
Yes.
All right.
That's great.
So, okay, that kind of segues into a thought I was having earlier, and I think I brought it up to Justin and to Dom earlier. What do you, in your memory, what can you think of are the best band names that you've come up with for like a potential band that you've never used? My favorite example, DeZambo used to say all the time that he wanted to start a band called Teddy and the Ruxpins. And
yeah,
I mean,
I don't get it.
It's just Teddy Ruxpin, but Teddy and the Ruxpins.
Who's Teddy Ruxpin?
Teddy Ruxpin?
You don't know
Rick? Stuffed toy.
Oh yeah, you're
There's
young.
a toy that would
dude.
talk back to you. You ever see the movie Walk
They actually
Like a
made
Man?
a new movie about it.
Really? Oh, I don't want to
so.
see that.
With Mark Wahlberg.
With Mark Wahlberg. It's called Ted 2.
Basically, that's what Teddy Ruxpin is.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a
Maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't make it.
So any band names that you guys have come up with that you haven't used that you wish you used, or just ones that you thought were funny?
The only one that comes to mind is in college when me and my homies really wanted to start like a fucking like super like Peckin' Hesh fucking metal band.
Jesus, okay.
And we wanted to call it Combat Tractor.
Oh, that's great. Craig had a band in high school called Combat Baby, which is the name of an early Conor Oberst song.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so we called it Combat Baby. Yeah.
We had a terrible one. It would have been a British punk band.
Yeah.
And it would have been called Tea Time.
Tea Time.
Yeah. It was pretty terrible.
I'm sure there are a lot of bands called Tea Time. Actually, I feel like I've heard of...
Yeah, probably.
Wait, actually, I think... Wasn't that the name of Pink Floyd before they changed their name to Pink Floyd. They were Tea Time, and they showed up. I think it was something like that.
Teaspoon.
Teaspoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Teabag?
Teabag? T-Bone.
What's up, Walt?
It was T-Bone Burnett, and then they were playing with T-Bone Burnett that night, and they were like, you can't.
I bet somebody walked in. It's just a chat going on.
Bro.
Oh, we got a Mr. Is that a Walter Lee there?
Walter Lee. Dude.
Oh, hello to Walter Lee. If you join us live on YouTube every Tuesday at 9 o'clock, you get to interact with us, and we'll chit chat with you and throw things out to you. And Walter's here live. You're not.
Yeah.
If you're not listening to this right now, because you're not Walter, unless you're Walter.
So here's an actual question for you. What real band has the best name?
Ooh, my favorite name of any band. Ooh, I don't know. See, I think different time periods have different names that like fit. I always really like the Grassroots. It just kind of I like double entendre names, and that's a very subtle one, a very subtle double entendre, because it's the grassroots, like a grassroots campaign, and then just the grassroots. Yeah. Just straight literal. They could just mean we are the grassroots.
Saying spicy omelet.
Spicy omelet. That is that's the name of his new band. Yeah. So he's used it. That's cheating. Yeah. That's cheating.
I like Eagles of Death Metal.
That is a great name.
See, along those lines, Tony Danza and the Tap Dancing Extravaganza is a great band name.
Did you ever see I think it was on like Conan or something. Tony Danza was on, and they were like,
they played it for him?
And he's like, what the hell is this garbage?
This is terrible. Yeah, I remember they played a show with Slightly Askew back in the day, and Slightly Askew asked if they could trade band names, and they wouldn't give it to him.
That reminds me that they used to...
They played with Beatles and 12-Foot Ninja, not to cut you off.
Shitty Beatles? Are they actually shitty?
I don't know.
That's Wayne's World. That's Wayne's World. Yeah. The Jolly Green Giants and the Shitty Beatles.
Here's a throwback band. The Number 12 Looks Like You.
Number 12 Looks Like You is a good band name. I remember they played Wade Stock, I think it was, at the Sherman years ago, and the lead singer looks like Mickey Rooney with a big beard.
Oh, then you looked like the Number 12.
No, he didn't look like the Number 12. Yeah, I'm saying the short, fat one that looked like Mickey Rooney looked like Mickey Rooney. But yeah, the Number 12 Looks Like You is a weird name. Yeah. Any other, Zach, do you have any band names that you came up with and you never got to use? Oh, I always liked, a name I used was Jesus and Einstein. It's from the movie adaptation, or just from Jesus and Einstein being people, potentially people.
Who are those guys?
One is a Spanish fellow I'm friends with, Jesus, I believe it's pronounced.
Okay.
And then Einstein was a scientist.
Everything rhymes with orange.
Everything rhymes with orange.
Speaking of orange, these things suck.
You don't like it? Oh,
yeah,
okay. Let's jump into what we're drinking right now. Wait.
Zach, before we do that, I'm gonna get off topic a little bit. My favorite album name is from Reggie and the Full Effect, and it's Greatest Hits from 1986 to 1988 or some shit. And it's their first album.
It's their first album. Yeah,
like I love shit.
I think that has Congratulations, Smack and Katie on it. That one's the girl with your head full of. Yeah, that's a fucking good album.
I always wanted to do a mashup cover band.
Yeah.
Called Florence and the Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, that is a good idea. We had the idea. We talked about it on a previous episode to do a Traveling Wilburys cover band, but we're going to rewrite all of the lyrics to be about cakes and pastries, and we're going to be the Traveling Pillsburys. And it's just going to be a bunch of fat guys that sing and play music together. Yeah. And we're just going to be like, it's all right, you can bake without it, it's all right, sugar doesn't matter that much. As long as it's crispy, I don't give a fuck at the end of the line.
So yeah, one of the beers that we have is good.
One of them's good. One of them's bad.
And I thought we were gonna end up with two bad beers.
I thought it was. So we're drinking this week. We went all Bud. See, we did our beer taste test a few weeks ago, and sadly realized that we all like Bud Light comparatively to when it's warm to Budweiser, Miller Lite, Miller High Life, Pabst, Coors Original, and Coors Light. And what was the last one? Did we have another one there? Busch.
Right.
So it was the racing beer show. And so we're just thinking we're going to see what we like from Budweiser, because you know what? Maybe we've just been shit talking them forever and they're not that bad. Zach likes Anheuser-Busch stuff.
I'm an Anheuser-Busch guy.
You are. Yeah. Now you have, what are you drinking there, Zach?
Oh, this Bud Light Orange.
Yeah.
Now it's in like a 12-ounce Red Bull style.
Yeah, it's like
dude,
an
the
energy
first
drink
sip is amazing.
It does taste
and
good.
And then after that, you're just like.
So it's a chugger. It's a chugger.
Yeah, pretty much.
I had a 24-ounce of this at the Slayer show.
That sounds.
And I was just like I remember trying it in the bar at Descender.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we just took a sip.
It was like just everyone got a sip, and I was just like, man, this is awesome. So we're at the show, and I'm like, oh, they got a 24-ounce, so this shit is gonna be banging.
Yeah.
After about like 3 sips, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the fucking worst shit.
Yep, it's hard to get through.
It's really not that great. But the second beer that we are drinking is the one that I thought was going to be the worst thing I ever tasted, and it's actually not that bad. Have we all tried it yet?
No, I haven't tried it.
You tried it here. I'm going to give you... You want the accent of my beer?
Not really.
No, there's some right there. You can drink one. It's Budweiser Copper Lager. It is aged on real barrel staves from Jim Beam, which I think means that... What, do they break up the barrel? Is that what a stave is? The broken shards of the barrel? Maybe. Either way, it's Budweiser. It basically tastes like you poured a shot of Jim Beam into a pint glass, took the shot of Jim Beam, and then you poured like a dark American lager into it.
I do like Jim Beam.
It does taste
like
good.
It's the right amount of flavor,
and it's got Jim Beam in it, so you know it's not gonna over sud, you know, because the Jim Beam is what kills.
Jim Beam in it?
No, it's just the staves, but it's killing.
That's good, yeah.
It's not too sudsy, you know.
Stavy.
Yeah, Stavy.
Stavy than Stavies.
Better than Scabies.
Hey, look at this.
Yeah. You got a giant hole in your arm.
You know my favorite thing is?
What?
People that drink wine that don't know anything about wine.
Yeah.
They always go, it's tart.
Tart. It's tart.
Tart.
That's tart.
I just go, tastes like iced tea that's been sitting outside for a week.
I'm not a wine person.
I don't taste the grapes.
I don't taste the grapes. It tastes dirt. It tastes good earthy dirt.
What's crazy to me is when people do drink wine and hand it to me and they're like, has like a very fruity note, and I'll drink it and I'm like, I don't taste any of that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't get where you're at. Are you trained that far? Like,
yeah.
Yes, they're all.
They are the sommeliers.
Yes.
Oh, they know so much.
Like, it's
not to be confused with the Somalians.
Not. But do you know if there are any Somalian sommeliers? Because that's a industry I want to get into.
Possibly, man.
Yeah, I want to start that industry.
They're in the right area.
I don't know how to do that. I'm not Somalian or a sommelier. All right, so again, we were saying before the episode's called Toast. Toast is an old venue that used to be around here. It's where I met Dominic for the first time. Now, my first local show memory is not Toast. It is Straighten Upright, who you guys will be hearing on the break, and that's a sweet spider behind your head on the wall there, Justin.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, it's coming. Oh, now it's probably by your leg.
Oh yeah.
My first memory was an underground show, but the underground the underworld, not the underground. The underground playground is the other place. Yeah. The underworld was at the VFW in Rosetto at the time, right?
Oh,
and
that's way back.
It was Straighten Upright.
Is that pre or post Ann Street?
Post, I believe. No.
Because then they moved to Cresco.
They did, and then they moved to Cresco, and then they were in Scioto or Scott Run.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Scrotum.
Scrotum. Yeah. So this is, I think it's pre all that. I think it's like they had a place at one point, and then they lost it, and then they were moving around for a bit. Did a couple of VFW, a couple fire halls. But Terry, either way, always introduced people as the underworld calls upon Maxwell Demon. And that's actually who was the first show I saw. It was Maxwell Demon and Straighten Upright.
I got a Maxwell Demon sticker.
You do?
On my Jeep.
It was a free gift, right?
Yeah, he's got tons of them.
Yeah, just give them away. Put them on all the stop signs.
I wasn't even born when he started that band.
Yeah, you were. You were like 8 when he started that band. So that was my first show. Dom, do you remember what your first show was?
Oh, do I ever?
What was it?
Do I fucking ever, man?
Tell us about it.
First show ever was... Oh, man, I had to be 11 or 12.
Okay.
This was the Ann Street Underworld. And the Common Decency
Hell yeah.
opened up for The Exploited.
Ooh.
Oh, that sounds
That's
fun.
a pretty sweet show. The Common Decency are one of those bands that I always loved. Whenever they were on a show, you knew it was going to be a fun show. They covered Bro Him at some point.
Dude, they covered Bro Him all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that was like a regular cover by them. But they were just the most fun, entertaining. It was just a bunch of Strasbourg high school kids, right?
No,
where were they from?
Dude, I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
I went to school with one of their younger brothers. Dude, I don't even fucking remember his name, but he had dreads and shit. They were dude, those kids were so woke back then.
Yeah, they were so woke. Justin, what was your first local show?
I don't remember where it was, but it was the Overdrives.
Oh.
And I don't remember if that was an Overdrive, like Bigwig, the whole gooseneck, whole fucking scene type of shit.
Zach, what about you?
Split 50.
I lost you.
Nice.
Hold on.
Talking.
Okay, cool.
There we go. Cats walking on stuff.
At the Sperman.
At the Sherman Theater, Split 50. They played a lot back in the day.
I forget. Somebody else played. That was like, and they played before them.
My first show at Toast ever was Split 50, Bigwig, Catch 22. And there were...
Dude, Catch 22, man.
I want to say there were 100 to 150 people crammed in Toast. All of the exposed beams and everything were getting, like, kicked in. And it was before they opened the back wall. Because they used to have the heroin den in the back room there.
Many people...
It was my first experience smelling pot and hearing about heroin was at Toast.
It's the first time I ever saw a needle in someone's arm.
Yeah, just passed out sitting on a couch.
I can't believe they let
making out next to them.
I can't believe they let like young, like I wasn't even a teen. I was like 11 the first time I walked into like Toast.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ!
And I saw someone doing heroin. And
you're like, oh, that's fun.
And I was like, sick.
Hey, Mister.
I'm gonna fucking get iced
What's
tea.
that needle in your arm there for, Mister?
I'm like moshing a Bigwig with Arizona iced tea. There's like dudes fucking doing heroin in the back. Yeah. I'm just like, this is.
Hey, you had
cool.
your drug.
There's
they
a whole
had
lot of diabetics that go to Toast.
No judgment. You know.
Yeah. Man, that's really cool that they keep insulin for all these guys.
Yeah. It's so nice of them. A lot of diabetes.
Man, Keith, I'm definitely getting coffee in the morning.
Keith.
Yeah, Keith says his first show was Mad Caddy, Slightly Askew, and Split 50 at Sanctuary.
My brother Keith?
Yeah.
Hello, brother Keith. The Sanctuary.
Shout out
I
to...
assume that it's your brother, Keith.
I'm assuming. Maybe not.
Shout out to Punk Rock Steve.
Punk Rock Steve.
Dude.
Shout out to him.
Oh, man.
Shout out to him. If you want to call him, the number is 911, I believe. And then
just
you
call 911 and ask for
Punk Rock Steve. They'll be like, yeah, we'll dial you in real quick.
The real question is how many people befriended Walt because of said local shows?
Walt Phillips?
Yeah,
Walt? Oh, Walt is the grandfather of fucking local hardcore.
You don't know hardcore!
Walt. You know Walt? You don't know Walt? Oh, he's the meter maid in Stroudsburg. Big dude, goatee, but he's hardcore fucking Walt.
He's hardcore.
He's a hardcore guy?
He's hardcore.
Oh,
he's the fucking hardcore guy.
He's the hardcore guy.
Like, go fuck yourself.
He's wicked hardcore guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't really sound that much like he's like, I mean, what is he, New York?
New York, yeah.
But no, he's like the godfather of the local scene at this point.
Yeah,
really, like he knows everything. Yeah, he's fucking
meter man.
Shout out to him.
Thanks
and
for
Walter
the tickets,
Lee's like the not the godfather.
Actually, Rich was telling me a story where if it wasn't because of Walt, or if it wasn't for Walt, he wouldn't have been able to go to a couple shows because I guess when Rich was young enough or old enough to go, but
he was too short to get in.
No, he just couldn't drive. Like his dad had to drive him down. I guess the story was.
So wait, did Walt pick him up?
No. Basically, like Rich's dad went over to Walt and was like, is it cool? Like, are there any issues here? And Walt was like, no, you can bring your kid here. Everything will be good. So Rich's dad had enough respect for Walt to be like, all right, go ahead.
Hell yeah, man. That's fucking Walt's the man. I've always loved that guy. I had an instance I also talked about in another episode where there was a meter that didn't have, or a spot that didn't have a meter. And so I just put an envelope under the windshield with a couple of quarters in it and just said, hey, Walt, I don't know. Hey, Walt / other meter person. Don't know where to put the quarters, so here they are if you need them. And then I took a picture, posted it on Facebook, and I saw him like 2 seconds later. He's like, yeah, you didn't have to fucking do that. It's fine. You can just park there. And I was just like, sweet. So free parking space.
There's no meter.
Right next to the Cure Cafe.
Yeah, I have to plow Walt's driveway.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to The Cure, by the way.
Oh, The Cure, the band?
No, the cafe.
The cafe?
Yeah. Well, Danny and Katie are amazing.
Well, they are amazing. So amazing that they let these two guys name their album that they just dropped, The Cure Cafe.
Yeah.
So it's called Brunch and Ray Remedy, and the album is called Cure Cafe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Ray lives right above Cure Cafe, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Dude, Danny and Katie pretty much killed it. My entire high school career at Stroudsburg, they would just, because they used to live behind St. Luke's, and they would just have like the best fucking dance parties.
Fuck yeah!
Just blasting like.
So
80,
those are the people that opened up Cure?
Yeah.
Oh sweet.
Yeah.
They're your age?
They called it The Cure because of The Cure.
Oh sweet.
They're they're older actually.
Oh okay.
Yeah, but yeah, known them for a while. They're great people.
Hell yeah. Not to cut you off, but your other brother, Craig.
Craig's in the room.
Has a question for you, Zach.
Zach.
What?
You plow Walt's what?
They plow Walt's hardcore ass. Plow Walt's fucking driveway.
Hey, Craig. How you doing, brother?
I miss you, bud.
All right, now before we go to our first break here and you hear some sweet music, I wanted to ask Dom a series of questions.
No.
Dominic Trimboli, you wonderful, wonderful Italian boy. How much Italian are you? Are you like 100%, 50?
No, my dad. I just actually got my dad one of those 23andMe's.
Okay, so you put your dad on a list.
No, yeah, he's officially Big Brother is.
Hell yeah, they're gonna have.
He's in the Matrix.
Papa Trimboli, yeah. Oh yeah.
He's like 96% Italian, and my mother's all German and Austrian. So I'm actually all 100% Third Reich though.
Oh, look at you!
Yeah, with the Red House.
Which
no.
For shots.
So I'm half Italian.
Yeah,
in the words of Henry Hill, just my good half.
Just your good half. All right.
Now,
in addition to being, in the words of Henry Hill, Hill, Goodfellas. I got you. Now, in addition to being Italian, you're vegan now. You're vegan. How long have you been vegan?
Rolling on 2 years now.
2 years. Do you remember the last piece of meat you ate?
It was definitely fish.
It was fish?
I was pescatarian for like 6 months.
And then before that, real meat, red meat.
Red meat?
Red meat or pork, anything?
Fuck, dude.
Did you slowly transition out of it? Or?
You know what? I didn't eat a lot of like fucking like red meat. It probably was like pork from this like ridiculously amazing Szechuan Chinese spot in Seattle.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. So it was in Seattle.
Okay. Oh yeah, I was. Oh wait, no.
New York.
It had to be New York.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pork from New York somewhere.
Pork from New York.
Definitely pork
from New York. Yeah. Now,
it's all blurry.
What is the thing you miss most about eating meat? Anything? Is there anything? Or what is the most beneficial thing that you see on a daily basis of you not eating meat?
Dude, my dad just made ziti with meatballs the other day, first of all.
Yeah.
My father's meatballs, bro.
Oh, dude, you want to know what my next question is? What if I put your grandma's meatballs in front of you right now? Like the classic family meatball, whoever it is. Yeah. It's your dad's meatballs. Your father's meatballs.
My grandmother was like, and I didn't like it growing up, so like I never ate it, but she did like the fish sauce.
Okay. All right. So your dad's meatballs, baked ziti, sitting in front of you. How hard was it to not eat it?
My face was in, because he made sauce, and he made a scratch sauce without any meat in it, but he makes sauce like the old school way. You gotta marinate it with the fucking like the pork and the prosciutto and the brajol and the beef all in one fucking pot, and like the meatballs and the sausage are in there. So you just open this giant vat of sauce and you just breathe it in. Yeah. And I know this.
Were you huffing it like a cigarette, a former cigarette smoker?
It was like I was a duster.
Yeah.
It was a fucking. Duster. I was dusting.
You were huffing. Now, is there a way that particles of meat got into your system in any way with you huffing it?
Possibly.
Did you break your vegan edge?
I don't fucking know, man. It smells good. I don't care.
It smells good. All right.
Hey, so I do have one question to cut you off.
So that's the most you miss about it, though. Before you jump in, your father's
my father's sweaty balls.
Yeah, all right. Just wanted to get that clarified there. Justin, what were you gonna say?
Is one of the questions have to do with driving?
Driving.
And if not, I think you should bring that up to anybody who is vegan or vegetarian in any.
Oh yeah. We proposed this when we met you.
Oh my God, fossil fuels, Jesus Christ!
Fossil fuels. Yeah. Do you think? I mean, there are people that are gung ho.
Yeah, there's I'm not saying that you are
hardcore, like blow fucking meat shops up type of people. Do you think they still drive cars because if they're driving cars, they're using fossil fuels? Fossil fuels come from animals a millennia ago, but or more.
Well, you could say that even just the way we get fossil fuels destroys natural habitat for animals.
Well, so
right. You could even go that route.
Yeah.
But do you think there are people that are there people that hardcore within the vegan world that are like literally anything that has to do with animals they fucking back off?
I mean, I'm sure people would like to be, but like
no physical way to do it.
Yeah, dude, that's like a more economic problem.
Yeah.
Nobody. I can't afford to go fucking buy an electric car right now. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And either way,
most of the power for the electric car comes from still burning fossil fuel.
Yeah. Either way,
you still gotta plug in and charge the thing.
Exactly.
Now, what would eating meat at this point, 2 years in, if you ate the meatball from if you ate your dad's fucking balls? What would happen to your intestine? What do you think would happen to you?
I'm a garbage machine.
So you think you'd still handle it? Because when I lived in LA, my sister was a vegetarian, and we had a tofurkey chili in the fucking refrigerator, and not in the refrigerator, in the cabinet, in a can, and me and my roommate are like, we're so tired of not having let's just go make like real chili and stuff. And at some point, we fed my sister something that had meat in it, and she was sick for like a day or two. And it just like she hadn't had it in like 2-3 years. She had like fish here and there.
I think it depends on how much you would actually eat from it.
Yeah.
I think it also depends on like if I had dairy, I would probably get fucked up. But
like real phlegmy and gross.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. The benefit on a daily basis that
it's like Russian roulette. It's like if you go with like a 7-person party to Sarah Street Grill.
Yeah.
There's a 100% chance that at least one of them are gonna have explosive diarrhea.
True.
Yeah.
It's 100% true.
Now, not to
and
cut us
if I'm in that party, guaranteed 2 people will have it.
2 people. When you're involved, it's at least 2. Now, we just want to also say that Sarah Street is a sponsor of this show. They give you diarrhea. Thank you, Sarah Street, for eat the pickles, eat the peppers, poop your pants.
Yeah.
Alliteration from Sarah Street.
That's their new slogan.
That's the new eat the pickles, eat the peppers, poop your pants. Sarah Street, live music.
Come for the peppers, stay for the bathroom.
Yeah, stay for the bathroom. Real comfortable bathroom.
I've taken a lot of shits.
Oh my God, I've taken a couple. I don't even go there that often, and I poop there a lot. You're right.
Every time I'm there.
Every time I eat something there, I'm pooping. That's a
good question. Who has the best bathroom to shit in on Main Street?
Best bathroom on Main Street? Not Floods. We all know that.
Jesus Christ, man.
No.
Has anyone attempted?
Yes. It's really easy.
A lot of the staff
if you go into the kitchen and you get an apron. You take the apron, you put the apron, the head part around the door, and you sit on the toilet, and you just hold the whole thing shut, and then nobody can open the door. Or you pay somebody $5 like Dennis does.
Or you just go in the ladies' room.
Or you poop in the ladies' room.
The other day, I was like, I'll be right back. And Ace is like, where are you going? I'm like, I gotta go take a shit. She looks at me and goes, let's go in the ladies' room. I don't fucking care anymore. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Go in the ladies' room.
Yeah.
Shout out to Floods. You guys have not changed once.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
since opening, amazing. So that's great.
And prices go up every like 90 years, I think. There.
I love that bar, man.
It's a great bar. Mm-hmm.
I shit at the Yard a lot, though.
Bar. The Yard, I do think the only problem I have with the Yard, the Hideaway had the best one because they still had music in their bathrooms. The Yard does not have music in the bathroom, and that weirds me out. I want to say Kay's is the best bathroom on Main Street because you can still buy condoms and porno in there.
Yeah,
and meth.
And meth, but that's only if somebody specific is already in the bathroom. All right, we are going to jump to our first break here. The music that you're going to be hearing right now, we've already discussed them a little bit. It's Straight and Upright. They were a punk rock of sorts, quartet from my high school made up of our producer, EJ5000, Greg Baldwin, who's from Let Me Ask You a Question, my good friend Jesse Krinsky, and our buddy Nick Hari, who was literally like the best fucking guitar player in our high school, and in like at that point I feel like in the scene he was playing rockabilly style stuff like nobody, and it's fucking awesome. So we're going to be playing. Which song do you have queued up first?
Her Way.
Her Way. So this song is one of my favorites. The story as I remember it, Eric wrote the song based on the music of My Way from Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
And in my memory, I might be wrong here, and Eric, if you listen, correct me here, but there's a line in there where instead of me, you chose a beer, and then you went and kissed some guy. In my memory, that guy is my now brother-in-law, Randy. And okay. I love it even more, and I bring it up to Randy all the time, just as much as I bring up the phrase 0-10 never again from his senior quarterback.
What's the girl they were talking about?
No, it wasn't my sister. It was just a friend of ours that Eric dated at the time. But I remind him of that and 0-10 never again, which was the motto the year after he was the quarterback of our high school football team, because they went 0-10. So I like to throw those things out there, because other than that, the guy pretty much wins at life. So I like to dig when I can. You know, you gotta knock people down as much as you possibly can in life. That's what I've learned.
0-sum, baby.
Yeah.
Doggy dog.
Just kidding. Either way, this song is from Straight and Upright. It is called Her Way. It came out in 2003. We will see you in probably 2.5 to 3 minutes, because it's a pop punk song.
Yeah.
Bye.
You had a choice, and it was clear. Instead of me, you chose a beer. And then you went and kissed some guy. And now I feel like I should die again. You had a choice, and it was clear. Instead of me, you chose a beer. And then you went and kissed some guy. And now I feel like I should die. I thought that things were going good. Did things right, just like we should. And then you went and lied. Now I feel like I should die again. And I am seeing things that I have never seen before. And I am often questioning myself. If I'd only known just what it was I had in store, I'd sooner put my pride up on the shelf. I asked you what you're thinking of. You say you don't believe in love. And then I said that that's okay. But then you left me anyway. Just like that, our time did end. It's much too hard to be a friend. And so I say my last goodbye. And now I feel like I should die again. And I am seeing things that I have never seen before. And I am often questioning myself. If I'd only known just what it was I had in store, I'd sooner put my pride up on the shelf. You had a choice, and it was clear. Instead of me, you chose a beer. And then you went and kissed some guy. And now I feel like I should die. I thought that things were going good. We did things right, just like we should. And then you went and lied. And now I feel like I should die again. I asked you what you're thinking of. You say you don't believe in love. And then I said that that's okay. But then you left me anyway. And just like that, our time did end. It's much too hard to be your friend. And so I say my last goodbye. And now I feel like I should die again.
Oh yeah, we are back. Thank you for staying tuned here on Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up, live on YouTube every Tuesday, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Tune in, listen, we'll interact with you. What's going on in the chat? Anything going on in the chat?
Your brothers are talking to each other.
My brothers are talking. What are they saying? Yeah. Anything good? Is Keith on there as Nicole Reed?
Yes.
Oh, he's on there as Lucy. Okay, that makes sense.
Hey, Lucy, how you doing?
He has a question. He says, "What does he mean, die again?"
He may die again. I don't know. I think he's saying I may die, and then he says, comma, again, like
he feels like he could die again. So he has that feeling again.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, like he's had it before, or he's just saying the word again, like I'm going to repeat all of this.
Yeah.
I think she's a repeat cheater. Is what this bitch is.
That's digging into it more than I ever dug into it.
I was a super fan, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just said super fan. I always called you the skateboard kid because you were always skateboarding, but the guys in the band referred to you as super fan. So when they listen to this, and I'll remind Eric, I'll be like, hey, his name is super fan, because that they'll probably remember. I just called you skateboard kid, and he goes, yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Like, I was like the little skate midget that would mosh and sing every single song.
Oh, it was
especially
great.
Tetris.
Tetris song, like we played it before, and that'll be the song that plays in the next break. You were saying words to it that I didn't recall, and it's one of those things that it's just sense memory. You hear something you haven't listened to in 15 years.
I didn't hear those songs since I saw them at Toast.
Yeah.
So, and then I listened to it tonight and was like, holy shit.
Hell yeah.
They really drudged up a lot of memories. I remember those needles clearly.
Yeah. And the wonderful murals on the wall and the chai tea. That's what I remember. That's the first place I ever had chai tea.
Here's a question though. Have you ever actually went to the cafe during regular hours?
I was just going to say my first memory of going to Toast before a show was with Eric. And my sister and our friend Nicole Joya, who was dating Greg at the time, and we played Monopoly and drank chai tea for like 4 hours and just hung out and bullshit around. And then I remember, like, a quick thing before we get into this wonderful test I have here of your musical knowledge of cities you've lived in. I remember going there to see All American Rejects. And so Joe Faree was booking the shows there at the time, and he told me and I told everybody, like, hey, there's a band playing. It was like a Wednesday night show, and my buddy Randy decided he'd go, and I think I got a ride from my dad down into town, and there were maybe 7 people in Toast, and it was them and like one other band, and they played, and it wasn't bad, like it was cool, but it was when they just came out with Swing Swing. It was before they got notoriety in any way.
Oh shit!
That's crazy. After the set, they were like, "Hey, where's a good place to get like food? Where's like pizza or Chinese or something?" And I was like, "Well, go down like out the alleyway here, down, make a right, and just go to Roma's." Because before Goombas, it was Roma's.
Yeah, that's right.
And
should have sent him to Foulet, man.
Foulet, yeah, that's true. But I was like, it's right there. And they're like, anybody want to go get pizza? And we were just kind of like, no, we got school in the morning. We just left. But I exchanged AOL Instant Messenger names with the drummer, and we like bullshit on AOL like back and forth here and there. And then 6 months later, I hear Swing Swing on the radio on my way to work or my way to school, and I was like, holy fuck,
that
was crazy. It was them, and then My Chemical Romance we saw at Toast.
Yo, fuck My Chemical Romance. Those dudes are scumbags.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
You don't get to be the band that ruins the scene by not being scumbags.
True.
I refer to that album is the turning point in that scene. The Black Parade album. It was when everything just went
100%.
down.
Dude, it's even before that though.
Well, I love Helena. I love the first album. I will always enjoy that album. And when they played at Toast, it was the second album. That's the second album? Okay. But I that was the first one I ever heard, and that's about as far as I ever went with them. And then Black Parade came out, and I was like, I've said it in the past, it's the Bohemian Rhapsody, that song. It's the Bohemian Rhapsody of that generation. It's the song, if it comes on in a room, when I was working in LA, that came on, the whole fucking room is singing.
You wouldn't expect to know it. Big Pat knows the fucking words to that fucking song.
What's crazy is that album has a lot of good fucking songs on it.
It does, but it's headed up by a song that, when it came out, was the most outrageous, like, obvious, like, gratuitous abuse of, like, oh, people are into dark stuff now, and Tim Burton's a thing that everyone in the scene's into. Let's exploit it.
I mean, just the way they were dressed for it.
Sleeves were made out of that.
Oh my god, so many. Like, that era, it's just, for me, it was kind of the death of the scene for me. But either way, let's move on to better things. Now, we're doing a little game right now with Dom. It's called Bands from Cities Dom Has Lived. It's not just bands, it's artists, bands and artists. Basically, I'm going to give you a band or an artist that is from either Philadelphia, Brooklyn, or Seattle. I'm going to give you a brief description of the artist, doing, maybe like giving you like some of their songs, stuff like that. and then you have to choose which of the 3 cities that you think they are from. All right. Now, at first, I was trying to get things that were like some way tied into the local culture here, like bands that have come through here. But after 2, it got kind of hard. But the first 2, I got to tie in real home, like close to home. So, the first, I'm gonna read to you here. Again, you have to tell me whether it's from Brooklyn, Philly, or Seattle, the 3 cities you've lived in.
All right.
The first band, Amber Pacific, and if you know it right off the bat, wait, all right. Amber Pacific was a pop-punk quintet formed in the early 2000s. They might sound familiar because they did their first semi-national tour with Stroudsburg's own Small Impact. DeZambo and Chuck and Tyree and Jesse and Brian did the tour with Amber Pacific. Their memorable songs include, if you ever heard of them, they're memorable. Gone So Young, Poetically Pathetic, Fall Back Into My Life, and they did a cover on Punk Goes 80s of Video Killed the Radio Star. Now, according to Ranker.com, they are, and this is where I was pulling all these from, they rank 88 out of 100 for the city that you have lived in. Which city, and what, like, what's your thought process?
I gotta go with Philly, dude.
Philly, what's your thought process there?
I don't... Honestly, the pop punk scene out in New York was kind of non-existent. I mean, you had like Brand New and shit, but like
the Long Island
everything kind of went from here down to Philly.
Yeah,
it's got to be Philly.
All right. Now, Justin, I already went over these with you.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Zach, what would do you have a guess?
Well, I don't want to pick the same, so I'm gonna say they're from the Pacific.
You're saying Seattle.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one of you is right. They are from Seattle.
Get the fuck out of here.
They're from Federal Way.
Federal Way?
Yeah.
That's a rough neighborhood, man.
Nice pop punk band to come out of there.
That.
Yeah. Hey. And the drummer of the band went on to become the drummer for Scott Stapp. And now he tours as the drummer Scott Stapp. He's played with Joan Jett and a bunch of other people as well.
I don't even see pop punk being a thing up in like the Pacific Northwest.
It's weird.
Seattle's a weird place, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude.
I was totally right about the name, though.
You were right. Amber Pacific.
Yeah,
good call.
Sense.
There you
Context clues.
Yeah. Now, number two, and again, if you get it right off the bat, let me read through.
Correct.
Number 2 is Kevin Devine. Kevin Devine is a solo folk rock emo artist, active since the early 2000s, touring with the likes of Nada Surf and Brand New, and often playing with Brian Bonds, whom producer Eric of our show and Eric of Straight and Upright was the bass player for. Memorable songs, Tap Dance, Ball Game, Me and My Friends, and they are ranked 97 for their city. What are you going for?
Shit, man, I don't know. New York?
Philly.
It's Brooklyn. It is Brooklyn. Okay. So you guys are 1-1.
He's from Brooklyn?
He's from Brooklyn.
What neighborhood, bro? What neighborhood?
All of these are specifically Brooklyn, not just New York. They are specifically Brooklyn to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So 1-1 there for you guys. He's ranked number 97 out of Brooklyn. Number 3, Paint It Black.
Oh, that's Philly.
You know that's Philly. Okay, so right off the bat, you're right. You're right. They're ranked number 91.
I like that band.
You know why I know them?
Why? Do you know who they were former members of?
No.
They're former members of Lifetime, Good Riddance, Kid Dynamite, and None More Black.
So, remember Zach Farrell? He went to East
Park. Oh, Zach, hell yeah.
His ex-girlfriend in college, her brother was the guitarist in Paint Black. So
hell yeah, so that's an easy one for you there.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're going to step out of the scene and that era and into a little bit older stuff. Tony Basil, or Basil, but Tony Basil is I
Tony
assume.
Basil.
Just sounds like Brooklyn, right?
You know the 38-year-old cheerleader costume, one-hit wonder from the 80s, her 1982 single, Mickey. Hey, Mickey, you're so fine.
Mickey, you're so fine.
Was a hit number 1 in the United States, Australia, and Canada. And it came out 18 years after her first single, Breakaway. She released an album in 1964, and then nothing until 1982.
See, kids, that's what persistence gets.
And
Something
Breakaway literally has 0 accolades. It's not listed in anywhere on the charts. She, for the city she is from, Ranker.com puts her at 69.
I mean, Jesus.
Which is, alright, just to think about that ranking system.
Yeah.
Is a little crazy.
Yeah, I don't know I didn't look into what their standards and everything.
I'm just saying, you get one, you put out an album, don't get shit for it, and then 18 years later, the song blows up before.
But it's because, like, honestly, she's a one-hit wonder. Like, wherever Tommy Two-Tone is from is probably listed in the top 20 because they're probably from Wichita or something. You know, like, and there's a limited number from the city. So this, again, number 69 from one of the three cities. Again, Brooklyn, Philly, and Seattle. 69. Tony Basil, who is like a 70-something-year-old woman now.
I'm going to have to say Brooklyn. Just because, one, the name, that music is kind of more East Coast. I feel like it came from, like, that whole, like, Ohio Devo scene, like, kind of like CBGB sound.
I think they said in one of her associated acts is Devo. Yeah. Which is weird. All right. It's Philly.
Get the...
She's from Philly.
I'm fucking up on Philly, dude.
Oh, you are. All right.
It's a weird city, man.
It's a weird city. It's real dirty, it's like, and it smells.
You know how I describe Philly? It's like the hills
Boston got waterlogged for 8 years.
No, it's like the hills have eyes, but in like a metropolis area.
Yeah, I lived in Kensington for a while. Yeah. It was great. There was one really awesome bar, and other than that, I just walked through the cat pee / laundry detergent covered streets because they would just pour laundry detergent to cover up the cat pee smell.
Well, it's up and coming.
Oh, Philly, it is. I had a great place for
dirt cheap.
That's
where you go to buy fucking heroin these days.
Well, I didn't know that. Thanks for filling me in now. All right, number five, the U-Men. U-Men, the letter U-Men. This dirty-sounding post-punk group formed in 1981. They spent the 80s extensively touring the United States and being a huge influence on a generation of musicians to follow. Ranker.com ranking for their city number 75.
Dude, I don't know. I'm just going to go with fucking Seattle.
It is Seattle. They were one of the precursors to the grunge scene in Seattle. There you go. So what are you, 2-2 now? You're 2-2.
Holding on by the skin of my teeth.
3. You lost 3? 1, 2, something like that. All right, either way.
Who's keeping track?
Number 6, not us. Number 6, Special Ed. Special Ed, a.k.a.
Brooklyn, dude.
Edward K. Archer. You know who he is?
Dude, it's very vague to me, but it came up, like, growing up, like, my brothers were in that shit.
When he was 16 in 1989, he released his debut album. He's known for his singles, I Got It Made, Think About It, and I Am the Magnificent. And you're right, he's ranked number 66 for Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's a Brooklyn thing right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jerky Boys, fucking Special Ed.
I miss that shit, man.
Andrew Dice Clay.
Fuck yeah. All right, so you know you're Brooklyn. Philly, not so much, but you know you're Brooklyn. Okay, now number 7.
Philly.
Number 7. Giants.
I'm not a fuck sports.
Yeah, fuck sports for the most
Except
part.
for Yankees.
Yeah, baseball's the only thing.
It doesn't matter though.
Yeah. Either way. All right, number 7. Kenny G. Kenny G.
That's a good question, man.
Need I say more? That's all I wrote. Need I say more?
I guess Philly.
Ranker.com ranking for his city. His ranking for the city he's from is number 22.
It's got to be Philly because I mean, soul capital, man.
Yeah.
Other than Detroit, right?
I will tell you that you are both wrong.
I got this one correct.
He is number 22 from Seattle.
Wow. Good job, Kenny.
Kenny G.
Fucking
Pulling it out.
Can you just give me like Kurt Cobain and like Jimi Hendrix and shit?
All right.
Get wet.
We'll get to some of those maybe in a little bit.
Get it? Because it's wet.
It's wet. Yeah, a lot of rain. A lot of rain. Yeah. I saw Man of the House with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I know it rains up there. You don't need to do no rain dance. All right, number 8. Pat Benatar. 2 multi-platinum records. 15 top 40 hits. Her biggest singles, obviously, Hit Me With Your Best Shot, Love Is a Battlefield, and We Belong. Ranker.com for the ranking from the city that she is from, number 3.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn is correct.
Yeah.
You are correct, sir.
You can just tell. Listen to the fucking name.
Seriously. Pat Benatar.
Pat Benatar.
And her real name is like Andrzejewski or something like that. She's like got some crazy, like, it's got to be New York type of name.
And she was like, I mean, she was on that whole CBGB scene.
Yeah, exactly. That's what when I brought it up to Justin before, he's like, didn't she come up through there? And it's like,
yeah. Had to have.
You could travel from Philly, really, but you know, that's her. All right, so then number 9. This is the last one. Joan Jett. Joan Jett, Known best for not being Pat Benatar.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's what she's known best for, I think.
Not being,
not being mad. Sense. She is Ranker.com ranked for her city, number 2.
Number 2?
Number 2 from her city. And I will tell you, I would have never have guessed like that she would have been number 2 for any 3 of these cities.
Yeah. That's
like,
what, who the fuck listens to Joan Jett?
Joan Jett's LA and LA. Like, I just figured it's all LA. Yeah. And if anything, Florida.
God. She's like a cheap.
Yeah, if all else fails, Florida.
One of my math teachers in elementary school was the bass player from the Black Arts.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a.
But that could be then New York or Philly.
Yeah, it could be New York.
Dude, I'm
gonna
say Philly. I'm gonna say Philly.
You're redeeming yourself here. It is Philadelphia. It is Philly. Now
Philly would like Joan Jett.
They like her.
Fucks.
Yeah, she's dirty, man, and she loves rock and roll. Put another dime in that jukebox, baby.
All those South Philly guineas.
Put another dollar in that
love
fucking
it. You
jukebox.
can say that word half the time.
Swallowing fucking hoagies and listening to Joan Jett at the.
Do you think people get that song these days? Because now it's $1.
They're like, what's a dime?
Actually, you don't even have to put money in.
You got to put a dime bag in this machine.
A dime, like a penny, right?
Yeah, like a penny, like one of the silver pennies. All right, now what I want to do before we jump to our second break, I want you to just guess. And I want to Justin again. I already went over this with him. So the two of you, I want to see if you can give me who Ranker.com put as the number 1 for both or all 3, Philly, Brooklyn, Seattle. So Philadelphia, number 2, we already established was Joan Jett. Number 3, I'll give you, is Patti LaBelle.
Yeah.
Wait, number 3 for
Philadelphia is Patti LaBelle. Number 2 is Joan Jett. Who is the number 1 ranked artist, band, whatever for
Philly?
For Philadelphia, I'll tell you, it's not the Hooters.
I wouldn't have guessed the Hooters.
They're big from Philly in the 80s.
Oh, dude, I don't know, man. Fuck, dude.
I can tell you that they are a band that I know very, very well, but I could not tell you a single fucking song they've ever done. I don't know anything about their music, but I hear them all the time. Most of the nights, I listen to them.
I don't fucking know, dude.
Most tonights, I listen to them.
Let's say, I'm just going to throw it out there, and I know it's wrong, but I just want to give them a shout-out because they're the fucking best band ever.
Yeah.
Out of Philly. Me Without You.
Not Me Without You. Me Without You was in like the 70s or the 80s, and I skipped over
Me
them.
Without You is not... they're in the 70s.
They were the 70s or the 80s for Rankers.
Nice. Keith says fun.
Keith says fun? Ooh, fun. Zach, any guesses? Again, Keith's going off my hint that I said the word tonight.
I just can't understand the way that this ranking system fucking...
I
think it might be
just by
how
like
much
listens.
they made or...
Yeah, and going off how much they make, because this is a band that makes a lot of money every single day. Every single night, they make great money. All the tonights, they make great money. I'm just going to tell you, The Roots.
Fuck, dude, I was just going to say that.
The Roots.
I wanted to say that the whole time.
I don't know a single fucking song they've ever done that's not...
Are you for real?
For real?
Yeah, but that's like not something that's on your mind.
Hell yeah, I don't know anything about them.
The Roots are amazing.
Oh, I know. I've heard them, but I don't know anything.
I just didn't think they'd be
the legendary Roots.
I would rank them number 1 on the best artists from Philly, but I didn't think that the ranker system would.
All right. Well,
I was gonna go with some like soul or jazz or something because it's huge there. You know,
man.
Well, now we'll switch to Brooklyn. We're going in order of places you lived. I went Philly, then Brooklyn, then Seattle, right?
I mean, technically, I was born in Brooklyn.
Oh, you were born? Okay, yeah. Fuck it. We're not counting that. All right. All right. So for Brooklyn, number 3 was Pat Benatar. We already said that. Number 2, I'll give you, is Lou Reed. So Lou Reed's number 2.
So hip hop's in this too.
Everything. Who
Jay-Z.
is? What do you think? You think Jay-Z?
It's gotta be.
I would. All right. So I'm thinking it's definitely something or the other hip hop related.
Okay.
I would either say Jay-Z
or
Beastie Boys.
Okay.
Or Biggie.
Well, I always mispronounce his name. I forget where Biggie was. I think he was in the top 10 somewhere.
Okay.
I believe.
Christopher
I know
Wallace.
Lil Kim was in there as well.
Really?
She's in the top there.
Right.
Adam, I can't ever pronounce his last name, from Beastie Boys, is individually in the top, is like at 22.
So Beastie Boys wasn't even on there.
They're on there separately, but he's individually also on there.
Because they weren't all from...
Yeah.
No, they're all from Brooklyn.
They all.
Okay, either way, he's individually listed on there. Maybe because of, I don't know, if he was playing guitar or whatever, like he was more influential. But number 1 is Jay-Z. It is Jay-Z.
Oh, word. Makes sense.
Yeah. All right, now Seattle.
Nirvana. Or Alice in Chains.
I'm not going to give you any of the top 3 on this one. I want you to tell me what you think the top 3.
Those were my guesses.
All right,
I said Alice in Chains or
right
Nirvana.
off the bat, that's what he said. Not saying they're right or wrong.
First
Alice
off,
in Chains, Nirvana.
I hear Alice in Chains hands down like 100 times more on the radio than I hear Nirvana.
Right.
You're gonna hear more than Alice in Chains on the radio?
In Seattle.
Pearl Jam.
Yeah. You're right. That would also be on my list.
All right.
So, or if I'm thinking like newer. Nah, dude, fuck that. What's that white rapper
where this question
from Seattle?
gets...
What's his name?
Macklemore?
Yeah, Macklemore. Fuck that shit. Hell
this
no.
This is where this question gets crazy, though, because you want to think Nirvana.
Hendrix?
Hendrix is another example, yeah.
So you want to think anything.
What do you think the top 3 are? It may be in no specific order. Who do you think they give the top 3?
I couldn't give you top 3. I could give you like, I mean, in terms of sales, I got to say Hendrix has to be up there.
Okay.
I'm saying Pearl Jam is one of them.
Pearl Jam.
Well,
Nirvana and Alice in Chains, I'm just going to throw in there.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'm going to throw Hendrix in there, and then my big 3 are going to be Nirvana, Pearl Jam, and Alice in Chains.
Well, number 3, and this one is a little confusing because he never did anything outside the band, but they have individually listed Kurt Cobain because he is the one from Seattle, I believe. So Kurt Cobain, not Nirvana, because drummer is from Washington D.C. in Dave Grohl. So they give Cobain. So you're right with Nirvana. Nirvana is, if you count them as straight from Seattle. Number 2 is Pearl Jam.
Okay.
Knowing that, who do you put at number 1? Cobain / Nirvana and Pearl Jam. Who do you put number 1? Do you think it's Alice in Chains or do you think it's Jimi Hendrix?
I'm gonna say Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam's
The options are Alice in Chains.
I'm sorry.
And Jimi Hendrix. You're doubling down on Pearl Jam. You're like, I already know they're ranked number 2.
1 and 2, dude.
They're 1 and 2.
I thought you meant it's out of those that are the number 1.
No. Who do you think?
I'm saying it's neither of those. It's gonna be something that.
No.
I'm gonna say Kurt.
One of the 2 of them.
Oh, it's one of them?
It is Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix.
Number 1 ranked.
I went and visited his grave. It's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah?
It's got a big, like a chiseled marble Fender Stratocaster.
Hell yeah.
It's beautiful.
Fuck yeah.
And his whole family's just like wrapping around the
Hell
whole like Coliseum. It's really nice.
Now, last thing, what were you gonna say, Justin?
We have a couple.
A couple things.
Yeah, I mean, it was just basically.
Let's just read
guessing.
through. Let's read through. What were their guesses?
Well, Craig came in with the Roots way after, but then said nailed it. And then he asked, "What about Hall & Oates?"
Hall & Oates. Ooh, I don't know. You gotta look it up. I don't have them open right now.
Where is Hall & Oates from?
Hall & Oates is from Philly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
I don't think too many people are hauling ass to Hall & Oates right now.
We are. I would love to see Hall & Oates. Oh Lord.
Then
That's
Keith said, "Me Without You rules Philly more than anything."
Okay.
And one of his guesses was Modest Mouse.
Modest Mouse. Ooh.
Modest Mouse is a good one.
Wait, where are they? They're Seattle, from Seattle, right? Yeah. They were somewhere in the top.
They're that whole
30
sub pop
so.
thing, you know.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And the Melvins too, but they're from Olympia, so it's a little.
But then even Air Pacific wasn't straight.
Do people really like the Melvins though, or do you just like the Melvins because of Melvins' influence so many bands?
I like the Melvins because I love the Melvins, dude. King
to,
Buzzo is the fucking god.
Dude, I really want to but every time I hear their music, I'm like, I don't see the fucking hype.
It depends on the album. They did a whole country album with Hank III, dude.
Yeah,
like they are so all over the place, and that album is absolutely incredible. It is traditional country with the Melvins and Hank III.
Yeah, they're like King Buzzo is like
to enough. I want to like it.
He's like the Mike Patton of like stoner metal.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
100%.
Well, now...
Except for, I will say this, Mike Patton goes off on some weird projects. The fucking noise shit, dude. I can't get into some of this stuff, man.
I don't know, dude. I kind of fuck with it.
You fuck with it?
Well,
you
when I
fucks with it.
I bought it when I was like 17 years old. Get home and I'm like, this is gonna be awesome. Put it on and it's just fucking noise. And I'm just like, what?
Major shout out to Danny Ace of the Cure Cafe who got me into Mike Patton. You are the man.
Did you know Tom's thanked in Mr. Bungle, correct?
Oh hell yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, okay. Before we go to our break, I want a couple questions that I asked our audience to submit questions specifically for Dom. And so I have questions from different people that gave me their answers. I texted some people, I messaged some people. And so these are all the questions that I got. All right. So the first one, and some of them are like submitted from like social media, different platforms and everything. Just kind of like, hey, I got this trying to describe you a little bit, and they might not know you, but they asked me a question.
Could be totally random.
Yeah. So the first one is from Craig's Benedict on Instagram. New York, Philly, or Seattle? Which one's better to live in?
New York.
New York?
New York is better than everywhere on the planet.
Out of every place you've been to, every
I
city
can't live
you've
in a
been to,
city,
you
man.
like New York?
Do it.
Hands down. I agree with you. I don't think I'm...
Would you opt to live in New York over anywhere, or out of those three, it's the best?
Out of those three, it's the best. I think I want a little more peace and quiet nowadays.
Okay.
But
Like,
how long do you think
if you had
in
any
New York?
city to pick for, you're picking New York, no matter what.
I already said that I want to die in New York.
Okay.
I want
to chance it could happen.
I want to die in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn.
Like living.
My
in
mom's
Brooklyn.
from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So I could do that and like complete some weird cycle,
Yeah, dude.
I could join. Let's go die. You want to have a pact?
Yeah, dude.
All right, let's kill ourselves at 78.
78?
78. Well,
I don't think I'm going to make it there.
Okay, well, I'll be 78. You'll be 76. How about
Perfect.
that? You make that long?
I don't think I'll make it that long.
We'll do it. All right. So next person sent in is Craigers Can't Be Choosers wants to know, what is the difference between a stromboli and a trimboli? What is the difference between a stromboli and a trimboli? I've often asked this of myself.
Well, a stromboli is food.
Mm-hmm.
And then a trimboli is go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Oh, I thought you were going to say food for life. Food for thought. Something like that. All right. This is from C Mocha 29.
Who is that?
I don't know.
How many Craigs are going to fucking ask questions?
I don't know. Is your house ever going to get fully sided?
I knew that would come.
Is your house ever going to get fully sided?
I don't know. It's been about 28 years.
Yeah, it's half-sided?
Nope, it's going to stay.
Is it just a project?
You guys want to hear the worst shit ever? Here's
a
good fucking story about my siding.
Yeah.
Second grade, there was these two fucking douchebag kids that lived up the street and would make fun of me and like just bully the shit out of me on the school bus.
Yeah, because you were a tiny kid.
Yeah, I was a little fucking runt, and these kids made up a song on the school bus and had the whole bus sing it to me, and it was based off of the Beatles, "We All Live in a Yellow Submarine," but they would go because my siding was off and you could see all the insides.
Yeah.
So everyone would say, "We all live in a styrofoam house, a styrofoam house."
Some genius fucking kids. You ever murder them?
I tried to fight him and he fucking pushed me on the ground, and
Yeah.
dude, he was like way bigger than me. He was like 3 grades ahead of me. Little fucking douchebag. I'm sure he is like doing heroin.
I'm sure he's totally listening. Most of our listeners do heroin. No, they don't. They did.
Well, if you statistically look at the, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so this one is submitted from Craig Mocha.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Pizza or skateboarding?
Skateboarding. Cause
can you eat pizza anymore?
Not.
Do you try to anymore?
Not pizza with cheese.
Have you done like
vegan pizza?
No,
yeah, there's some good spots.
Tomato pie is amazing.
Tomato pie
from Philly.
is really good from Philly.
I've never tried.
Oh tomato
man.
pie is great. Cold, right?
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah,
just walking to a convenience store basically.
Yeah, it's basically just it's just tomato sauce on fucking. It's no cheese pizza.
Yeah, just wrapped up individually.
Yeah.
See, that's my thing, man. Like, there's some things you can't recreate. Like, pizza will never ever be good.
It's like being gluten free and eating bread. Like it doesn't work. It tastes like shit.
Dry. It's like
cardboard. Yeah.
Why are you
it's
a vegan though?
Nutty.
It's just personal preference, man.
Yeah.
But
what changed it? What was the influence?
When I first started, it was more like environmental. Like I wanted to like reduce my own impact,
carbon footprint and stuff.
Yeah, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
But I mean, as it went along, I definitely got more more focused on like the animal rights side of it, and I'm not saying animals have more rights than humans or anything like that. I'm just saying that like on a moral standpoint,
breeding 10,000 cows just to slaughter them in the middle of Central California.
I mean, that's obvious. That's an obvious wrong. Yeah. That is an obvious wrong.
What I'm saying it smells terrible and ruins that state when you're driving through.
What I'm saying is, if we're a human race that believes in true liberty, who's to say that we have the liberty to take another life? If we have people that slit the throats of a pig or a cow, even though like. If you guys want to say that cow or that pig is of a lesser being, or they're not, or was as smart put here as us
for our feeding, if you look biblically, that's shit.
I mean, realistically, I was just gonna ask,
book, dude.
I was just gonna ask if this was, if this was way back when, let's just say even during Civil War times, where food wasn't prevalent and you had to actually go out and hunt for it, is that a different story for you? Like,
I had this conversation with my buddy the other day, and he's avid on like buying local meat, making sure he's getting it from farms and stuff. And listen, my whole thing with being vegan is it's a personal journey, and everybody has their personal journey.
Hell yeah.
And I won't be a militant person.
You're not beating someone over the head, evangelical style, trying to get someone to be on board. I'm not trying to convert. You're not signing people up.
I do, however, want people to be more conscious of how they consume. But I think that's that's a baseline.
And there's
thing.
also,
should,
there are health reasons for like the amount of certain things that you don't need to consume and how it can affect. I mean, anything from your blood pressure to your cholesterol, like things that cutting down cheese and red meat is just good for you.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I was ever introduced to veganism in any way was when I met and this is on an old episode that's not available anywhere. I met Roger Rabbit when I lived in Los Angeles. I met the guy who did the voice for Roger Rabbit. It's a long story. I wound up at his house, and he had said that we were gonna come over for wine and cheese or something like that. But previous to this, he had told me not to drink milk because it's like unnatural for you to be drinking milk anymore. You drink milk when you're trying to sustain life at the beginning of life.
You can eat hard milk.
You can eat hard. Yeah, I was like, wait. So I can't drink. Like, so I was like, he approached me with the idea of something that was vegan, but then totally wasn't vegan in any way. And I was kind of like, this whole thing's wacky to me.
Yeah, man.
I mean, most of my experience.
He was trying to bang my sister.
Oh.
Yeah,
most of my experiences with vegans working in a restaurant
threatened to rape me in the ass with a broomstick handle.
You know,
true story.
The only thing I can say is if you're vegan, don't work at a place that, I understand you have to make money and whatnot. But be understanding of the fact that you're working somewhere that does sell meat or things that are going to be killed.
If you work at a steak place and you're a vegan, there's like a moral thing there.
I got offered a job at that. I got offered a job at that like barbecue joint that just opened up in Delaware Watergate.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I can't. I morally cannot do that.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion.
But it's kind of the same argument.
I don't have any right to kill any animal.
Yeah, it's the same argument if you're an establishment that's eliminating straws right now for the plastic waste, but then if you're also using plastic bags and styrofoam containers and all of this stuff, like if you're gonna go for it and stick to your conviction, stick to your convictions. And honestly, it's something that I'll say before we finally jump to break. That I've always loved about you, brother, is that you do, like, you think something, you say something, you believe it, and you stick to it. I could probably go vegan. Like, Kevin Smith went vegan after his heart attack, right?
Only
because of that, and his daughter.
But his daughter's vegan, right?
His daughter's vegan, and he drank a shitload of milk. He said, like, he literally drank milk right as he was having his heart attack. He, like, drank milk. And it was like he got off stage, which kind of weirds me out to drink milk right after you get off stage, like sweating your ass off.
So wait, he was drinking milk on stage?
Off stage, like right when he got off stage.
That's a weird. Either way, that's a weird fucking thing.
That's a fat man thing. But it's like I could see myself having a health situation at some point that's like, okay, you should adjust your diet, and I go, okay, maybe I'll lean into that. But
he went heavy though. He was like eating potatoes only for like
from
like that Joe Rogan thing. Or
I personally just don't think I could ever not have bacon. It's the one thing that of all meat, like beef, everything,
I eat
chicken,
a lot
whatever.
Less bacon these days.
Bacon is the one thing that I cook it so much at work that I would never be able to work my everyday and not just taste a piece of bacon as I'm cooking it. But
bacon's good.
Yeah, bacon's good. Yeah, is that one of the things you miss a lot too?
No.
You don't miss it.
No, not at all. It? It's honestly like my palate has changed because of it. So like, dude, honestly, I think if you went non-dairy for like 6 to 9 months and you looked at like, even thought about drinking milk, like whole milk, you might get disgusted with it. Like at this point, when I think of drinking milk, I'm like, that is fucking gross.
Yeah.
Like it's just gross. It comes from an animal's tit, dude. Yeah. It's like filled with pus and blood,
and then they
suck
it out of
and
the
then
tit,
they bleach it and like.
Well, that's the side.
And listen, man, that's all you. Man. But like,
I'm having a cheese-themed birthday party this year.
Same thing with like sugar, man. Like, they have to bleach the fuck out of sugar just to make it edible.
I don't fuck with bleach. I only raw sugar.
Raw.
I try to cut sugar out.
I do
honestly, it's all about
mostly.
Eating healthy. I don't eat like honestly like go your own way, but like at least be conscious about what you're eating and we're cool.
Well, I gotta tell you. Last thing. We were shopping the other day. We were at Giant and we were in the organic section, and they finally did it. They finally made it. And I'm now happy. They have organic Doritos and cheese poofs.
Hey.
No way.
Straight up from Doritos.
How do you make organic Doritos?
I don't know, but they taste really fucking good. They're not as good. They're not as seasoned, but they are pretty fucking good.
There's also another company that makes fake Doritos that are better than like the Cool Ranch. Pat was buying them.
Oh, I don't know.
They're small bags at Wawa. That's all.
I gotta check it out.
Are they Doritos for ladies?
Doritos?
No, they're like a thicker chip. I don't know.
Is that enough of a change in the name that you could do that? Doritos? I think we should start that company if it's legal. All right, well, we're going to jump to our second break here, and then we'll come back a little bit more with Dominic. Some of the stuff we kind of already went over, so we'll just keep going and digging into it. So this next song is the special request of Dom. Most of you will recognize the melody. We'll just kind of leave it at that. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with more Kyle Muggle Won't Shut Up. We'll see you soon. Bye.
You had a choice, and it was clear. Instead of me, you chose a beer. And then you went and kissed some guy. And now I feel like I should die again. You had a choice, and it was clear. Instead of me, you chose a beer. And then you went and kissed some guy. And now I feel like I should the lines of a game that we all love to play. If it were up to me, I'd be playing Tetris every day. 1 out of 2 doesn't matter to you until you get them up to 10. Build them down to the ground and then you have to start all over again. Tetris games can go on long. Build them high and build them strong. The colors change when you rearrange with a mess up and leave a space. It will be an atrocity and come crumbling down right in your face. The higher you go, the bricks do not slow as you make the flip and twist and spin. It's okay if you lose, you choose to play the game that no one wins. Tetris games can go along. This is why we sing our Tetris song. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Maybe you have to drink it out of an ass.
You gotta drink it out of an ass, and we're back.
Yep.
Drink it out of an ass. Oh, yeah. Welcome back. If you're listening live, you heard a little bit of the first song and then the second song. And if you're listening later, it's probably going to be the same thing because we're lazy and we don't edit things. So you got a little tease. If you really like that first song you started hearing, go back to like minute 25 or something like that, and then go fuck yourself. All right. So again, we are here with Dom Trimboli, good old friend of mine. Again, we have a lot of we have a lot of I don't know, like history in the music scene, and we have a lot of mutual friends throughout like the years, and now
we're a good crossover story.
Yeah, we have a lot of like weird moments that we've just met and interacted with different people.
It's really like a solid base for a rom-com.
It is. I think we fell in love at the end. I think that's the key.
I think it happens at a podcast.
I think it happens at a podcast, and I start holding your strong arms. No, we're good. I like having some distance between us because the space between us.
Dave Matthews, God.
Oh Lord.
Is he top from South Africa?
He is probably the number one from South Africa.
I always said the Dave
Charlize
Matthews.
Theron ever recorded any music?
Elon Musk.
My thing is the Dave Matthews fan base is very similar to the ICP fan base.
Oh,
yeah. I never could get into them.
They're militant.
Yeah.
Like
they have
that
the
band
bumper
is
stickers.
Great, but I couldn't get into it because of the kids in high school that liked Dave Matthews.
Yeah, dude. They all had their Birkenstocks and their fucking...
fucking hated it.
They all smelled like sage and laid in hammocks. Whatever they did.
No, dude, when I was in high school, it was all the jocks, man. It was like the popular kids.
Really? That was, by the time I got to it,
but they were like trying to go hippie,
Yeah, towards the end.
Dude, my mom liked them, so I never felt like that animosity.
You never felt animosity?
Like when I thought of Dave Matthews Band, I'm like, oh, it's a band my mom likes.
That's weird.
Dude, I can't go to see Fish. I got fucking wrestling practice this weekend, man.
Oh, can't do it. Can't do it, bro.
ICP though, I do like going to see ICP, man.
I fuck with ICP and their fucking general idea of life.
Yeah.
The Gathering is probably the coolest fucking festival. Fuck Coachella and Burning Man. The Gathering is like the apex.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of crazy people in the woods all being crazy.
I want to go. You want to go? Let's
get it. We should get a party bus.
I would paint my face. I'd go to it.
You don't even have to.
Oh, I would.
I wish I was there the year they fucking threw bottles at Tila Tequila.
Oh, I heard about that. They also threw bottles at one point at Bobcat Goldthwait. He was there.
Can't go that far because Bobcat's a legend.
Great.
Yeah,
he's one of my favorites.
But I mean, if you cross Shaggy and 2 Dope.
Wait, what?
If you cross Shaggy and 2 Dope, you're fucked, man. You can't mess with the family.
So that's one guy, Shaggy, 2 Dope, and Violent J.
Oh, whatever. I don't fucking know.
I've seen them live. It's fucking amazing.
I'm sure it's fun.
It's so fun.
Did you get the Faygo shower?
Oh my! I had to change my underwear after the show. I had to change every piece of clothes I was wearing, dude.
Were you eating fucking Sarah Street Grill before? You shit yourself?
Shit myself down.
Again, sponsor of the show, Sarah Street Grill. Yeah. Shit your pants, fuck your face, and sit on my twat. That's their slogan now.
That's the new slogan. They just changed it.
That's their new slogan.
I love that redneck shit.
It's their redneck shit, yeah. Right, so Dom, you recently moved back into the area. Again, we established that you've lived in a couple different cities over the last decade or so.
Yeah, man.
And now you're back, and what
followed the hipster caravan through all the cities,
brother. Yeah, and then back now. I've said for years that Stroudsburg is a great place to establish as a hipster vacation spot because it used to be a vacation spot. So there's the old timey throwback feel. And we're close to Brooklyn and Philly. So if we just started catering, hey, we got a bunch of bars and wineries and a record store.
And you can still go out in the woods with your puppy. Yeah, you go out in the woods with
your puppy and smoke a bunch of pot and do some PCP or whatever the fuck you're doing today.
Live in a tiny home.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Eat some cacti and expand your brain.
Can I interrupt for 1 second?
You can't.
Thank you. You said pot, so I actually watched.
What's pot?
At my mom's house.
Okay.
And she has TV, and I haven't watched actual cable in a little while.
Yeah.
Well, there was a judge show where it was 3 judges.
Oh, hot bench?
Yeah, hot bench, or whatever the fuck it is.
It's so bad.
And it was an episode where the dude was suing his roommate for stealing his pot. And I was just like, we've come a long fucking way.
Yeah. You used to just.
It's on like Channel 8.
For having pot.
I'm suing all y'all for smoking my pot for years now.
Oh Lord, we don't know anything about that. We don't smoke the pots here.
Yeah, like
what's
burning
pot?
something and like
Yeah.
going to cook and smoking the pots out.
Yeah, smoking the pot.
Yeah, leaving the pot on the oven.
Dude, I've burnt out so many pots of yours. I'm sorry. I leave them all black and charred.
Yeah, dude.
You know what's actually really sick about Washington?
What?
If you didn't smoke pot, you still had like a pot stash. That's how like widely accepted
when
it is.
people come over, you have
just
pot.
so you have it for
like
people.
yeah, I don't drink, but I have a couple bottles
exactly.
of wine.
It's like
I don't smoke cigarettes, but I carry them.
Yeah,
I don't
1950 status. Yeah. I have a box on my desk of cigarettes.
Yeah, I don't
and
have.
You can have one if you'd like. I'm not a
sorry,
smoker
so I don't do dabs, but I got the whole percolator.
I got a rig. I got a rig. I got 2 O's. What do you want? What do you want? It's fresh dripped. It's good.
Yeah.
What do you want? What do you want?
I got pre-made fucking chocolates for you.
Yeah. So let's start before we go into what you're doing now. When you were in Seattle, was it before the changeover? Did you go right after the changeover, like when it became legal?
No, it was legal when I got there.
When it was legal. Okay, so what is your experience when you get there? Because I've lived in California. I've had a medical license out there, and I went to Colorado a couple of times and enjoyed their dispensaries and everything. When you first got there, is that your first experience with legal marijuana?
Legal, yeah.
Living there, yeah. You moved there, and that is you never went and visited beforehand, and
I've never been anywhere where it was legal. Even I don't even think medical was legal anywhere I've been.
Okay, so you get there. Are you a smoker when you get there?
I haven't been a smoker since college.
Okay. So
I fuck with edibles though. I fucks heavy with edibles.
Did you enjoy it immensely when you first got there? Did you go hard?
I did not go hard. It's just it wasn't my thing. My transition from Brooklyn to like even my last like 2 years in Brooklyn going to Seattle, I like changed a lot.
Okay.
I didn't go out and party as much. I stopped smoking as much.
Yeah.
And I quit smoking cigarettes.
How long ago was that though?
I mean, this is all in the last 5 years.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and you're 30, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like, I was even talking about Steve about like just not partying as much and whatnot. I think that's just a general thing. Like as you get older.
Yeah, it's a transition. That shit gets old, man. You know.
It happens.
You burn yourself out.
I'm looking forward to it.
Don't ever change.
I won't ever change.
Okay, Peter Pan?
Yeah, I won't ever change. Oh, there you are, Peter.
But yeah, dude, I went there. I mean, it's definitely a trip being able to, like, when you walk in, the first time I walked into a dispensary.
And someone's like, you want to smell this? You want to look at this?
Yeah.
Hey,
well, it's not even that. I still felt like I was making an illegal drug deal. So, like, I'm sitting there, like,
you're like, here's my
car.
Watching, like a cup's coming out, like, I don't know what's going on.
Do they bring you to the back room, like in Colorado? Like,
no, dude, it's wide open. The last house I lived in Seattle, there was 3 dispensaries on my block. Yeah. Like I could walk to a dispensary, and if I didn't have anything I liked, I could walk
to the other 2.
I could walk 2 more blocks or 2 more like buildings down and just grab like whatever.
Yeah,
I think I'd just be a zombie.
Insane. It's like $30 for like
hard
an
to
ounce.
Think you wouldn't. Yeah.
You know, like it's cheap as fuck.
That's crazy. So you left there, you came back here, and obviously family and everything like that, reasons to come back. But your personal professional endeavor now has changed. You left you were working in the corporate world.
Yeah, dude, I was a retail buyer and
for Zoomies, you said, right? So you took your CCS catalog experience and you really went to town with it.
Yeah,
I wanted to CCS the store.
I wanted to work in the skate industry. I thought my whole life skateboarding was my life, and I wanted to do it. But
yet you
somehow be involved.
You did pick skateboarding over pizza, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure.
That's just because I'm also vegan.
So yeah. Okay.
Whatever. But yeah, I mean, like I went out there. I mean, I worked for the company for like 6 years, and you know.
Were you with them in Brooklyn and then you moved to Seattle?
Yeah, I worked for them in they opened up like a specialty like street level stores, so like they branched out of malls. Okay. These are predominantly like mall and outlet stores. Yeah. And I was like I basically helped them figure out how to run like operations through like product operations, like backstock and like shipping and all that like crazy stuff they've never gotten into.
Really exhilarating, self-fulfilling work.
Yeah, stuff that I really cared about. You know?
Definitely.
And then I was like, fuck it, like I'll go work at their home office, and they had a position open for well, it was originally marketing, and I was supposed to get involved in like the skate scene for marketing. And
okay, so a good reason to move up in the company.
Yeah, but
get what you want out of
especially
it.
Especially if it's something that you're...
Well, yeah, dude, originally I was supposed to be working on a countrywide tour of basically like an amateur traveling
like a
contest.
tour?
Okay.
Kind of, but like you would have like local hometown kids that would you know play, that would go into contests and try to win, and they would go to like the finals, which was like in a certain part, and we build a skate park. It's huge. I mean,
sweet.
It's the biggest amateur contest in the world.
Hell yeah.
Which is great. It gives kids an opportunity. But when I got there, things moved around, of course, being corporate, and I ended up not being in that position. So I got really bummed over it. Went over to back to the business side of it. I was a buyer for a while, and you know, it was great. The people I worked with were awesome, but my values changed so much in the last 2 years. Like, I'm sure a lot of people got involved in politics and all that bullshit. Shit's got, like, hyper crazy nowadays, you know? So I just felt like it was time for me to cut ties with, like, a job that wasn't fulfilling.
Okay.
It wasn't, that wasn't,
I can hear you there.
You know, I'm not going to die at, like, you know, however old I get and be like, wow, I really did good buying for a fucking corporation.
Yeah, I'm really happy Zumiez made billions of dollars.
Yeah,
off
while
my
I
work.
made I scratched by.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was just like, fuck it. If I'm gonna swing for the fences, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna like quit my job, move back home, and try and learn something I'm actually passionate about, which
wound up being what?
Tattooing.
Hell yeah.
Now, what is your personal, before deciding to get into tattooing recently, what's your personal experience in, like, the art world? Like, what have you...
Well, I went to school for art. I went to school for graphic design. I've always been involved in art. I've been drawing since, you know, I was a kid, and growing up with my buddy Dennis Protsuk, and you know, his father is, like, a world-renowned fine artist. So, like, I've had all these great artists around me and friends.
Anovich?
What?
Wait, who'd you say?
Dennis Protsuk. Or his
what's his dad?
Dennis Andreevich.
Andreevich.
His dad's name is Andre. So, little known fact, all Russians and Ukrainians, their middle names are son of, which is Ovich. So
makes sense.
Dennis Andreevich, son of Andre.
Crazy.
And I had a friend, his name was Nick Vladimirovich, and I was like, why are all these fuckers Imoviches? And it
makes sense.
It's a thing. I don't know.
Is this the guy that owns a studio
off of Main?
Okay,
yeah, right by Renegade.
I've known him since he was like 15, going to G2.
Yep. Dennis is great.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I was always surrounded by the arts. I went to college, ended up not fucking really killing it in college because school's not my thing, but
Hear you there, man.
yeah, dude.
That's why we're all here.
I dropped out of art school.
I didn't go to art school.
Yeah, dude.
I went
I was
to
that confident.
A business school to get my fucking degree.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it was
I did
cool.
finish though, but
That's
it's
good.
Not something I can actually fucking deal with.
It's just
Well, my problem is I went through art school on heavy doses of LSD.
okay.
Yeah.
Which kind of that
that will
doesn't
fuck
help.
your mind up for a
Now
while.
tell me, because I have no idea. What is that like?
it depends on your dosage.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people
Enough
are like
said,
really
enough
into
said,
a lot of people are into microdosing now, but like
It's
when
not
back
like,
then it was like there's no such thing as microdosing, so we just like
macro dosing.
yeah,
It's not
macro
like
for sure.
two people
Yeah.
sitting on the couch thought that this doorway was a mirror.
Hey,
over.
there's not a mirror in the middle of this room.
This
There's
is a
never
love
been
scene.
a mirror in this
You want to
room.
hear the craziest
A
thing?
mirror
though?
in the middle of this room.
My last semester, or actually my school went quarterly for some weird reason, but my last quarter I won project of the quarter,
Okay.
and the entire time, no joke, I was on acid day in, day out, every day, just like fucking drawing and doing
Like how
acid.
much? Are you taking a hit a day? Taking 3 hits a day? 5 hits a day?
No, by the end of it, I was at 25 hits a day.
Holy fuck,
Yeah.
man!
I
Are we
went
talking
into
like
a bad place.
Are we talking like
Craig
dead
might remember
family,
this.
dead family level shit? Like how good is it? Like lab stuff? Like what are you talking about?
Oh, it's called Philly Fluff.
Okay.
It's the
all
best shit.
right. Okay.
But yeah, it was.
So your tolerance is crazy fucking high.
Not anymore.
Shit.
I'm sure.
Well,
I'll go
back in the day.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a thing. Like with those.
Do you think you could just like lick a tab right now and you'd go fucking crazy, or are you that?
It doesn't happen that much anymore, but there were instances in the last couple of years where like I wouldn't call them relapses, but I would have tendencies of like just tints changing in my vision.
Okay.
So like shit would go purple for a second. Like this yellow wall would be like a tint of purple for like a split second.
Now, do you think that's something like is that a flashback? Like people say they
could
have
be.
their acid flashbacks because I don't know.
Could be. I could just be an asshole. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never experienced one, and I've heard people say like, "Oh, 30 years later, and all of a sudden I'm walking through the fucking grocery store, and the whole fucking aisle."
Well, there's got to be something that would trigger a memory that you have while on it.
I don't know the science behind it, but I know a lot of people say like that shit never leaves you; it stays in your spinal cord.
Yeah,
if you crack your back, you get into like it's like I don't think that
I've
shit's
gone to
true,
plenty of chiropractors, and you know. I've never heard any of them tell me of anybody like flipping out in their chair, and I'm sure plenty of their patients have done LSD, and they get their necks snapped every single time they're there. Now, okay, so you moved back here. You've been in the art like mind frame most of your life, despite what you were doing professionally. So you moved back into town with the hopes of pursuing a career in tattoo artistry.
Yeah, dude.
Now you get to work, and tell me how you got set up with who you are. You're apprenticing.
Oh,
at
word.
The time, correct?
Yeah, dude. I kind of fell into it perfectly. So,
I've never heard of anybody working for him. I've only ever heard of him on his own, and I didn't know he was there until like 3 years ago.
Yeah, dude. So, I was actually doing my cross country trip. We actually did a road trip to come back here. And on my way here, my buddy Dan hit me up and knew I was out here looking for like for tattooing apprenticeships, and I originally was just gonna say screw it and probably just like go to New York or something, or apprentice under like someone out there, because you know out there you get paid to apprentice, and like there's plenty of shops that are looking for people. But it just so turned out that this guy I know his name is Mike Hendra. He's been tattooing for
Funhouse,
you know, for a while. He started out tattooing at Funhouse, and he now has his own private studio in Snydersville, directly across from the Snide-Eye, where that old like video store used to be.
Oh, the rental place?
Yeah, the rental store.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Really cool. It's his own private studio. He's on the second floor. I'm basically just under his wing right now, learning things. But I mean, I've been drawing for so long. I've been into like the tattoo arts, mainly traditional for, you know, the last couple of years.
And that's what you're looking like more to go toward, to be more of the traditional.
Oh, 100% traditional.
What I think of, and I look at it and I go sailor tattoos.
Yeah, I mean it all derives. It comes from
banners,
that era.
Sparrows, big hearts, mom love you tattoos.
Exactly.
All that the classic era, the Sailor Jerrys.
Jerry, Cap Coleman,
and somebody around here that does a great job working in that realm. And I know you probably obviously know him being in the music scene, but Will Savinsky.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some of his stuff is absurd in that old school realm. He did my buddy. I don't know if you remember Mike Kesselring, but Mikey's got a bunch of shit from him, and it's kind of in the vein of like he just pops in and goes, put something on my leg.
Yep. That's just the way it's supposed to be.
And it's like, all right, cool. Like there's this this outline of an idea. There's this banner and sparrows, but how do we make it you, and how do we personalize it? And it's like, I don't know. To me, it's the idea. It's like a pirate tattoo.
The whole history of American traditional derives from the actual like making of the electric tattoo machine.
Okay.
So once that happened, and it happened in New York, you know, some of the original tattoo artists actually made the machine based off of one of Thomas Edison's patents for electric pen. And people that were getting tattooed back then were you know, mainly outlaws and thugs and sailors coming in from war that were only there for like a certain amount of time.
Jewish
so
folk.
They needed something quick, you know. And the whole concept of flash art or flash tattoos came about because these tattoo shops could only post up in very bad parts of town.
Yeah.
And
because it wasn't legal, right?
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't New York tattooing wasn't legal until the late 80s.
Yeah, really? It's actually pretty new in comparison to other places.
Dude. Yeah, actually, might have even been in the early 90s that they made
I think it was. I think it was like 92 or something like that.
What was that? Koch? What was his name? What was the mayor back then? The guy who was like turning.
Oh yeah, Koch.
Koch. There you go, Koch.
Fucking destroyed graffiti, tattoo, and all that shit. He's But
wonderful man.
Yeah, that guy was cool.
He's my second favorite mayor besides Giuliani.
Oh, yeah.
Great mayor.
Hey, facts aren't facts, dude.
Facts aren't facts, dude. Facts
but yeah, I mean, the whole point of flash tattooing, it's they made their own art, and it was supposed to be quick. They were supposed to like lay down the lines, lay down tops. 6 colors at most, which is a lot to them back then.
So what you're saying is boardwalk tattoos.
Boardwalk tattoos, and it's supposed to. It was meant to be that if they could, if somebody like cops came or there was like a fight that broke out or some thugs, you could pack all your shit up really quick and leave.
Yeah,
and that's why they called it flash.
Yeah. And then that's how a guy who has a tattoo that says "I heart Mo."
Exactly. Yeah. But it's got such a cool, rich history that like it's hard not to fall in love with that kind of shit.
Hell yeah.
And it's like country music, dude. It's like so fucking American.
Hell
like,
yeah.
It's beautifully American. It's like the greatest part of Americana
because, I mean,
folk art.
Outside of that era of like this current era, the modern era of tattoo art, most of it is tribal. And
that shit kind of died out.
Yeah, I'm glad
not even. I'm saying like in history.
Oh yeah,
most
for sure.
of it is actual tribal.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Like real Samoan and different islanders, and it is the hammering of a little piece of dyed
old
like
school
rock
stick
or whatever.
and poke type stuff. Yeah,
stick and poke. I mean, they had that in those areas, but in most white settled parts of the world, you didn't scar your body or anything like that. And there's like biblical connotations for that stuff as well. Like your body's a temple and all of that stuff. Now,
on the other side of that, you got the Yakuza, which when a boss gets killed, they skin them and fucking hang their skin on a mannequin.
Is that why they get tattoos?
No, that's a jail thing.
They
so
don't get tattoos?
back in Japan, they used to the government used to tattoo prisoners so you knew that they were criminals and
face tattoos?
So they had certain tattoos for the crime that they committed.
Okay.
And tattoos are still not accepted in Japan. Like, I mean, it's legal, but it's not an accepted
it's not
like
socially,
cultural. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's been, and there's even like instances of colonies being settled in like Africa that would like abolish tattooing in order to like maintain the population easier. Because that shit is their culture, like those tattoo marks are like, it tells them about their heritage and they would outlaw that shit just to make sure they have like a little bit more authority over them.
Well, they were trying to modernize them, man. Like there's plenty of documentaries about like tribes out there that have to go out and get jobs. Find apartments when they've been living.
Vox Media just put out a whole thing about it. Just like the history of tattoos and not so much traditional. They really go into like the more tribal part of it, which is really cool to learn about. I don't know anything about that shit, but I mean it's so crazy to see where.
I think there's only one or two major especially for the Yakuza. There's like only one or two traditional like bamboo.
Yeah,
that actually still do it.
Just to hammer it in.
There was actually a TV show where it was a dude that would go around and get tattooed from crazy artists all over the world, and this was one of them. Like, in order for him to actually get tattooed, he had to be okayed by the Yakuza. So he had Yakuza following him around Japan this whole time, and he's like, I don't know if I'm going to get killed in a fucking second or not.
Yeah.
Like, if I do anything wrong, and he's like, I had to, like, one of the head Yakuza guys he had to have dinner with and shit, and he's like, they may poison my food right now.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a lot of crazy shit that goes on in that.
Well, one thing that jumped out to me with you going down this path and learning, you've been given kind of assignments from Mike of like different of styles to like work alongside, and you posted something about your dad and a tattoo, and this was possibly one of the. This is kind of what I want to like wrap up like this whole thing with this story. I mean, however in depth, like you made a post about it, but however in depth you want to go, it was a really cool moment, I thought, that that happened between you and your dad with relation to the tattoo work. Yeah,
dude, totally. So, I was working on some Flash maybe 2 weeks ago. Really into again traditional, but I was mainly focused on kind of like the Brooklyn Masters and like the original Brooklyn old school heads.
No Philly Masters?
There's plenty of them. I just haven't really looked into it yet. I'm working on them all, but
I feel like in Philly there's a guy named Sailor Terry somewhere.
Probably.
He's like just a knockoff guy.
Sailor Crackhead.
Sailor Crackhead. Sailor South Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was working on some Flash, and it, obviously a lot of them are like typical. Like you said, there's like the mom hearts and the roses and Hot Stuff is a big one, especially in Brooklyn. Yeah.
What is Hot Stuff?
It's a little devil character, the little cartoon.
The Porky Pig looking guy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Is it based in any way or drawn by anybody with any relation to Looney Tunes? Because when I saw this,
it's a comic. I don't know if it's the same artist.
It looks so similar to like the style.
Yeah, it's a comic. It's an old comic from like the 60s and 70s.
Okay, and what was the name of that comic again?
Hot Stuff.
Hot Stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just drawing I was referencing an old sheet from this guy Tony Polito from Old Calcutta Tattoo, which is he's basically the cream of the crop, like the upper echelon of Brooklyn tattooing. So I was referencing his sheet of Hot Stuff. My dad walks downstairs and is like, "Oh, that's cool. I have a Hot Stuff tattoo." And he showed me. It's all faded, but it's no joke. It was the same exact Hot Stuff on that sheet. And it turns out that the sheet that I was working on was the same sheet that the tattoo artist, art by Michelangelo, his name is Mike Perfetto from Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. He referenced the same exact sheet to tattoo my father.
That's cool.
Wow.
So it just like tied up, like, which made me that was the defining moment where I was like,
I'm on the right path.
I fucking love tattooing so much, because like that's not even like a crazy story of tattooing. Like that shit happens every day.
Yeah.
Like the references that cross.
Now have you ever seen the tattoo that your dad had in your life?
I knew about it. I saw it growing up.
But you it didn't register too much.
It was it was a tattoo.
Shoulder tattoo, an ass tattoo.
It was right on his arm. Typical like.
Because in my head, when I was reading your posts on Instagram or whatever it was, I was like, in my head, I've never met your dad, so I'm just imagining. In my head, I have Joe with a mustache.
He does.
Yeah.
Does he? No. Wait, does he have a mustache anymore?
Exactly.
No,
I feel like
you can't tell if he has one or not. Like that's the thing about my dad. I don't know.
With a stiff upper lip, either way. But it's just Joe. It's like in my head, it's Joe, like acting like a high school football coach, but in the house all the time, and just kind of like a Tony Clifton.
No,
but
he's
Joe.
So relaxed. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's just because your brother's a psychopath. Yeah. I think your dad's got
Joe goes off the
well, really, only Joe is a psychopath. Like, how did your family wind up with just a psychopath as the first one, and then normal-ish people?
That's not true.
Yeah, I know.
My other brother Bill used to place bets and fight people at parks.
That's
like in high school. He used to make hundreds of dollars beating people up.
Did he ever beat up DeZambo for money?
No, they were good friends.
Yeah, I know. They ever beat each other up that you know of?
No, that I think that was before my brother got into like jiu-jitsu and all that shit.
Oh shit.
Dude, my brother, the second kid born, my older brother was he was an absolute monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he was a hitman.
What's the next? Is it you then, and then?
Then it was me. Then it was my sister.
Okay. Angela's the baby.
She's the baby.
Oh shit. Okay.
I was the runt though. I was the little one.
Honestly, for the first year and a half, I thought you were twins. I just thought you were
pretty
twins.
much are. We're only a year apart.
Yeah, you're a year apart. You're Irish twins.
Yes.
But you're not Irish.
We're actually 25%.
25%?
Yeah.
Oh, Mom?
Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said Austrian and German. Okay.
Austrian, German.
Sorry, part Irish.
Part Irish. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna start using this information on your mom when she comes into the bar and drinking.
Yeah, she's Irish, Austrian, and German.
Irish, Austrian, and German. I'm gonna learn about those cultures. Try to impress her.
She doesn't know shit about it.
She doesn't.
She has this. She has a Celtic cross on her neck.
I don't know. Is it Celtic or Celtic?
I don't fucking. Celtic is the
when you're
team,
talking about
right?
a basketball team, it's Celtic, and then anything else is Celtic.
Yeah.
Is that just we just all went? Fuck it, it's Celtic.
I don't know why we did that.
I think we went. Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah. Was it a bunch of illiterate people in Boston going Celtic? It's a word in this book my mom has on a shelf.
Fucking potato farmers.
Yeah. Yeah, I can make fun of them because they're supposed to be Irish and I'm supposed to be Irish.
Just my good quarter.
You can say Guinea. I can say.
I could say it all. I could say kraut.
Yeah.
I could say.
Yeah.
Irish. What do they call
we
them?
can all say it all. That's the beauty of America.
Yeah.
We can all say it all.
But there's consequences.
Zach says words sometimes that I don't even know if they're real. I don't know what those words are.
Not doing it this week.
Hey,
Not
bud,
doing it this week.
Your zipper's down.
Is that a head sticking out of your zipper there?
I did look up the meaning.
You did?
Yeah.
For the drink?
I couldn't find about the drink, but just the general sense.
No. Do we want to know what the meaning of it is? Because that might negate my claim at the end of last episode.
I mean, I'll tell you off air.
We're gonna do that off air.
All right.
Cool.
All right.
It's not as bad as it's fucked up, but it's not as bad as you think.
Okay. All right. Well, I just want to ask Dom before we wrap everything up. What is the projection being you're just starting as a tattoo apprentice?
Yeah.
What is the projection? What is the timeline that you look at starting this out? From today to potentially you having being able to pay a booth fee and be in a fucking chair with somebody.
That all depends on my progress.
Okay.
I'm not gonna push it, but
you don't want to ink somebody until you know.
Oh no,
until you got a couple. Okay,
now, I'm gonna ink myself for a while.
Well, you're gonna ink yourself.
Yeah.
Will you use as a vegan? Will you use any hides at all?
Nope.
No. Does that?
I already researched all my inks.
Do they have? Do they have any alternatives that are some silicone based?
Yeah, they got fake skin. That's
Keith is asking for
super expensive. What is he asking for?
Would like a tattoo.
Keith wants a tattoo.
I got you, bro.
You want to take? He's got skateboard tattooed across his feet.
Yeah.
You can tattoo dumb fuck across his wrist if you want. I forget, Keith. If you can answer this in time, at least a little bit. Tell me what he was gonna get something tattooed on his knuckles. If he can get it, tell me what it is, and then if he says it, I can't see the screen from here. Because it's funny, because he has skateboard, and I was like, you can put your knuckles together and make them another word. You can fuck around with it, because you can put your hand knuckles next to your toe knuckles. Like it's skateboard, but if you said, don't skate overboard, just as a dumb example.
Fuck me really hard.
Fuck me really hard. That's what
it is blow coke.
What is it?
Blow coke.
Blow coke. I don't think that's true.
That is.
I don't think that's true.
You are a absolute treasure.
Blow
to society.
skate coke board. Blow skate coke board. Or skate coke blow board.
My brother said he wanted to get PRND.
PRND?
Park reverse neutral drive. Right? That's a rednecky thing if I ever saw
it. That's a redneck thing.
Is neutral
found on road dead.
Is neutral going to be in orange and the others in black?
No, drive has to have the circle on it.
The circle on it, yeah.
So you have overdrive.
Yeah, certain cars have the neutral is highlighted in a different color, so specifically that's neutral. I don't get it. I don't know cars.
Would he have the actual shift layout on the top of his thumb?
Oh.
Nah, he'd need to save that for the cum stains.
The cum stains?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Now, I think you should give Keith...
That's a strange tattoo. Yeah, can I get a tattoo of cum stains on my hand?
I want the map of Hawaii on my back.
It's photorealistic
on my back. Now, I think you should give Keith give my brother Keith a tattoo when he comes back.
Cum stain on his fingers? Just as cum stain?
He already has cum stains on his finger.
I think we should have another episode of the podcast where you just
tattoo
give us tattoos.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We do that. You want to be my first tattoo ever?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll do that. I promised
what do you want to do?
Bodwell when I was 15, but you can take it. You can take my virginity.
Bodwell probably charges way too much.
Yeah.
Well, not too much for his skill. He's a phenomenal tattoo
artist.
It's a bunch of weight
time. He charges a lot.
He's absurd.
I have all my tattoos done by him, but
yeah. I have 2 Bodwells.
Well, I forgot where I was going with something. I was saying something.
Hey,
I should add though
something for you too.
Yeah, you go.
This is not related to tattoos or anything anyway, or in any way, but it's something that happened over this past week. And it's a new trend apparently. How do you feel on YouTube fights where a YouTuber challenges another YouTube and they actually get in a sanctioned boxing
Wait,
match?
they actually fight?
They actually fight.
I would be more down if it was like a comedy roast because I'm a nerd for that stuff.
First time I ever heard. What do you think about this boxing match? It'd be better if it was a comedy roast.
Well, yeah, but
that's like you like the sandwich.
Why not just watch boxing?
It was soup.
If they're trying to do it, I guess Dana White was the one that sanctioned it.
Thought it'd be better as soup. You never ate a cheeseburger and go, "This burger is good," but the consistency better as a soup.
Would you want to see Mayweather start a vlog?
I would.
No,
I would.
I just want to see Floyd Mayweather beat up YouTubers.
Yeah, that's
now we're on the same page.
I would see Mayweather
beat the fuck out of the Paul brothers.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was Logan Paul and his brother.
Oh, well, that definitely needs to happen. That guy needs to get
his shit handed to him. They charged $10
I don't
to see
even care
it.
whatever he did in Japan.
That dude's still doing shit?
I don't care.
Oh, yeah, they charged $10. Listen to this.
I just want his dumb face. Like, he looks like he was like too cute for the CW, and then YouTube just like shit it out of its pussy, and he just got a fucking show. Like, I hate the look of him, and I've never watched anything he's ever done.
Yeah, he's got a
so
real.
So they charged $10 for this.
Still
shit,
pictures. Dude. I'm like, you look like you look like Danny Zuko and fucking Sandy had a baby and was raised on fucking Tinder by fucking I don't know. It's dumb assholes.
They charged $10 like through YouTube.
Creep.
They had 750,000 people watching. Ended up in a draw, and they already set up a rematch.
It was him and his brother fought each other?
His brother actually won his fight, and I guess Logan Paul was fighting some dude named KSI.
Yeah, he should fight Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, Kimbo he'd have to dig him up, though he's dead.
No, I'm saying his, like, corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would lose probably still.
Hey, that dude filmed the hanging body in Japan. He can't go any lower.
Yeah, it's
might as well just dig up Kimbo and try and fight him.
And he filmed it like not. Wait, I've seen documentaries and stuff on that, but he filmed it in like a. This is funny.
Yeah, dude.
When did he die? How long ago did Kimbo Slice
Kimbo Slice died a while ago, man.
I haven't heard his name in like a decade.
Yeah.
I feel like he was the homeless guy that got.
No, he wasn't homeless.
People, right?
He just fought.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He was Street Fighter.
He had like
he looked like Rick Ross.
He died in 2016.
Damn. Okay, it was only like 2 years ago. Okay, I don't think I've heard his name since he was.
Dude, he was famous for like YouTube knocking this dude's eye out of his socket.
Yeah.
It was. I think that was
and then he did terrible.
Cop. I think he was fighting like an ex-cop or a part-time cop or some shit.
I should say though, he was terrible in UFC, but he was at least good enough to fuck up Ken Shamrock.
You're right. He was.
I don't know what any of that means.
Ken Shamrock was like that fucking dude from like WWF.
Yeah.
But he did. Ken Shamrock did start out in UFC.
He did start in UFC, but he was famous from WWF, and then he went back to UFC, got his ass beat.
I still think WWF bought UFC.
His fighting house was called the Lion's Den.
Oh, that's terrible. I don't like him.
They don't have lions and
they don't
tigers and bears.
Yeah.
No, they don't have the Irish lion, dude.
No, who the fuck is the Irish lion?
I don't know.
An Irish tiger or an Irish bear. I don't think any of those exist.
Yeah, it should have been the famine den.
Yeah. Wow. The potato den, at least.
Yeah.
Or the fucking
the Guinness den.
The Guinness pool.
The Jameson pool.
It's Guinness ice bath.
Yeah, all they do is drink. What's famous out there? Skirts? No, that's Scottish.
Scottish is the skirts. The kilts, yeah.
They're skirts, not kilts.
The drinking and bombing their
fuck
people.
you two. Bono, I'm coming after you, bro.
Oh, that's another. We were talking before about South Park episodes. The Bono, the Keurig episode.
Oh yeah.
He is the biggest shit in history. One of the greatest ever.
80 Keurigs.
Oh, we're watching it, and Alyssa's like, "What the hell's going on?" And I was like, "He's about to shit the biggest shit ever." And she's like, "This is terrible. This is terrible," and I'm dying fucking.
That's
laughing.
not the same episode when they're shitting out of their mouths, right?
No, not the reverse poop episode.
Doesn't Randy try and beat that record?
Randy beats the record, and
right,
he shits like a
I think it was like 21 Keurigs.
No, it was like 92 or 110 or something like that. Like, because I think Bono's like 80 Keurigs. Like,
oh shit, dude!
And the fact that I was trying to explain how
the
funny it was.
80 Kitty Keurigs.
80 Keurigs. It was great. All right. Well, hey, I think 80 Keurigs is a good spot to drop off.
Can I add one more thing? Actually, I'm sorry.
10 more things if you want.
I did want to end with Mike Hendra's shop is currently it's his own personal studio, but we are planning on expanding it into a full tattoo shop.
Fuck cool. Yeah.
So that's that second floor that he has right now will be turning into the bottom floor too.
Yeah.
So he'll have about 4 booths down there.
Fuck
so
yeah.
there'll be more artists involved.
Is there any way that people can get a hold of him?
Keep an eye on
I wish
Facebook
I could.
Stuff.
Keep your eye on Facebook.
Okay.
Here, I can pull it up right now. But
yeah,
basically he's in the process of.
If you Google Mike Hendra tattoo, you'll probably get there.
Okay.
You think you'll get there? I think you'd get there.
Yeah, so it's M Hendra Tattoo is his Instagram. One word.
Right.
M Hendra Tattoo. Yeah, he's planning on getting a full shop and getting more people in there.
Cool.
So yeah, and he'll still have the private studio for anyone that wants to have like their own space.
Yeah.
So
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hit us up.
Well, definitely. Dominic, thank you so much for coming on this week, brother. It was a blast to hang out.
It was a real blasty blast.
It was a blasty blaster.
What is
I want
that,
to blast
Dane
your
Cook?
blaster and your blaster.
That is Dane Cook.
That is
Dane Cook.
Oh,
Yeah.
Might as well end it on a douchey note.
And you might as well. You are the biggest douche I've ever met in my life. Because your brother's the bigger douche.
I'm like a 60 Keurig douche.
You are. You're like all the douchiness of your brother packed into a 5'3" frame.
The mayor of Strasbourg.
I don't know if he's the mayor. He might be the mayor.
Maybe.
I can give him a run for it.
He's like the hula hoop and Jock and Jill's put together.
Yep. He's the middle of. He's the dead center of Main Street, Stratford. He makes up the pavement.
He's the ultimate warrior.
Yeah, he is. They should have a picture of your brother at Warriors that just says Ultimate, and then a picture of him. And then anywhere there's karaoke, he'll be.
Can you just walk around with tassels from now on?
Like I think you should have tit tassels.
Oh, I was just gonna say, should we all wear pasties next time?
Pasties.
The pasty party, and I'll tattoo you guys.
Oh my god!
Hell yeah! Great. Just not my. Don't tattoo.
All right, I gotta think of something that I want you to tattoo me. Maybe I'll get you to tattoo the Straight Upright logo on my arm.
Absolutely.
That'd be terrible.
One more thing, I'd like to at least me, I'd like to dedicate this to Mr. Dave DeZambo.
Oh, Dave! Yeah, last week
I love you, Dave.
Last week we played a couple of Backfire songs, or we played one Backfire song, and then we played all of his videos that he does on YouTube. The More You Know videos that Dave did.
Oh yeah.
So I put those up. So that was fucking sweet. We watched those, and his birthday was just this week, and that's another reason it's cool that you came on.
Yeah.
Shouts to X2.
X2, man. I was gonna say we gotta play some wall ball at some point. You're home.
Yeah.
We gotta go to Stroudsburg High School.
Let's get the old fam together.
Wall ball. Let's get everybody out. Let's get everybody doing it. Hey, if you're listening to this and you want to play some wall ball, meet us at Stroudsburg High School at any time. Anytime. Just show up.
Go there right now. We'll meet you next week.
We'll be there, hang out, get some blue racquetball balls from Walmart, and meet us there.
Only Spalding, fuckers.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, thank you, Dom, for joining us this week. And
thank you for having me.
As always, oh, wonderful, brother. It's my pleasure. As always, we've had Mr. Zachary Storman. And Mr. Justin Olimpedo. Yeah. I give you a break there just in case you want to say something. I realize I never give you a break. I just give him a break.
Yeah,
but
man. No, I'm good.
You're good?
Thank you.
You're good? You don't have any weird noises to plug or anything like that? All right.
Yeah, check out my noise rock band.
Check out my noise rock band.
10 Seconds to Fuck Life.
Yeah. 10 Seconds to Fuck Life sounds like a great name of a band.
Yeah.
But no, check out on
Oh, speaking of band name, Keith is starting a band called Grandma's Fish Sauce.
Grandma's Fish Sauce. That's
he knows what the fuck is up.
I don't know what you're doing.
What about Dad's meatballs?
Both our grandmas is dead. It's Dom's grandma's.
Yeah. Well, she's dead too. So
all right.
She's
Dead Lady Fish Sauce is the name of the band.
Deceased woman.
As always, I want to give a shout out to Moot.tv for putting all this together. Mr. Eric Dukoski, whose music we played earlier in the breaks. From Moot.tv, also check out Let Me Ask You a Question, and that features Mr. Anthony DeAngelis, Eric Dukoski, and Gregaman. And every week, Anthony proposes a crazy, weird question. Eric messaged me earlier and let me know that we are now officially available on Stitcher.
Nice.
So if you use Stitcher for your podcast needs, Kyle Moko Won't Shut Up is available, and we are in some form of figuring out what's going on with iTunes. Okay. So most likely you're going to get most of season 1, as we're calling it, the first 21 episodes all at once. And then, in a couple of weeks, we got 3 more episodes.
Is iTunes Alex Jones and us?
They're Alex Jones and us. Yeah, they're Alex Jones and us. They'll let us on Bill Maher.
No, Alex Jones ruined it for everybody, so now they're combing through.
He did. Did
you say the word
goddamn vampiric globalist?
That was such a good one. Oh my god. Vampiric.
I mean, globalist. I don't know, but I don't want gay frogs.
I don't want gay frogs.
I don't want gay frogs.
I don't want them. Oh Lord, that's terrible. All right, well, so check out those guys. We also have another show at Moot.tv that's called White Wasabi. They talk about anime and such. And then check out Not Movies. Sean Araujo, great podcast. They make up a different movie plot every single week. And coming soon, possibly, we talked about this idea earlier. I'm just going to say it now so it's out in the ether. Fake Crimes. Yes. A show, potentially, also from the houseboat Tommy Lee Jones, where we're going to do true crime stories where we make up the crimes as we go along. We sit in a circle and come up with the crime as like a round circle story.
Then we commit these crimes?
And then we commit them right after.
Right.
That shit'll go very far.
3 episodes, I bet, before we get caught. They're going to be like, wait a second.
Those aren't real.
No, they're doing these
They
episodes.
weren't real. Now they are real.
Excuse me, Kyle. I talked to the magistrate. Those crimes were not committed.
They were not committed. But I'm going to do
them
tomorrow.
Wait, would you get in trouble if somebody actually followed through on it?
I don't know. Maybe. Probably.
No,
like somebody was sitting there and they're like, God damn, I need to kill my wife. I need to figure out a way to kill my wife.
Maybe.
And then they listen to it. And they're like, damn, that sounds like a good fucking idea.
I don't watch How to Get Away with Murder and not come with ideas with How to Get Away with Murder is all I'm saying.
I did not read If I Did It by O.J. Simpson and got away with killing my wife.
Nobody read it.
I don't have a wife. But.
Nobody read it because they pulled it before it was released and it was terrible. All right, so to play us out, as always, is our theme song. Tom, you haven't heard this one yet. It's the best song that Zach's ever written.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
These pretzels are making me thirsty. That sounds like a warm-up vocal exercise. All right, so here we go with our closing theme song. We will see you next week. Check out Moot.tv. We're going to get a bunch of shit going up on there soon. So, later. Bye. See you next week. Have a good one.
Fuck off.
Love you. Keith, Craig, thanks for listening live. Nicole. Keith's name is Nicole.
Yeah.
He's got a girl's name. Later what? What did you just say? What word was that? That's a bad word.
Yeah.
There's nothing more egomaniacal than singing the theme